I know you're in there.
I'm still in the birdcage, and I'm next to a giant marshmallow peep.
Yes. Yes, you are. And I'm all decked out. I did this, like, on Wednesday because I was bored, and then I forgot until I
Time
opened...
well spent.
Yeah, like, I opened VTube Studio today and was like, I'm not changing out of this. It's too great.
I mean, I don't blame you. It's good.
It's beautiful. I also have Peachy on my head.
I noticed that. I was like, oh, Peachy's on his head. And then I was like, wait a minute, there's something wrong here.
Peachy has matching glasses too, which is great. But yes, hello everyone. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. We're gonna start dating a new boy. So exciting.
New boy.
New boy.
That's right. We're here to date all the boys.
Every single last one we will kiss, maybe.
I mean, we did Gretel, so we're definitely doing our duty here. I mean, because Gretel was a rough one.
Yeah. Our boy Alice.
I mean, he's your boy.
Yeah, yes, he is my boy. I love him.
He's my brat. He's your boy.
Yeah, that checks out.
Fucking, I hate being able to parse you guys' acting voice from your voice, because just now I realized my Gretel voice. Is PG real?
Yeah. Speaking of Peachy, where are you? Maybe taking a nap. Peachy does have a headache, which is why we didn't do Danganronpa earlier today.
Sense.
Yeah.
Well, Peachy, if you're out there, I hope you feel better soon. Also, are you real?
I mean, Peachy was over here in my apartment yesterday, which is funny because we're gonna do like an in-person stream, but
Aww.
internet went down.
Damn.
Yeah.
Offline collab went offline. Shit.
Yeah. Two offline.
Two offline. Shit, we gotta re-enable the internet.
Alright, the man wearing a mask and a cheeky grin. I choose this one.
Eeny, meeny, miny.
Together, you and Alice reach out to the mirror. Then you walk through the glass and jump down into the looking glass world. Well, technology.
As if we're familiar with the looking glass world, which if this is a continuation of chapter 1, then we are.
The hot amber liquid rippled in rose-printed porcelain. You could smell citrus in the steam. This was but one of many cafes in the looking glass world. Another cafe, huh? Anyways.
Starting to see a pattern here.
Yeah, lots of cafe. Customers came from all over town to enjoy a spot of afternoon tea. Oh yeah, you can hear the NPCs now too, huh?
Yeah, I can.
Wow.
Excuse me, but could I get the check?
Sure thing. It was one of our regulars. I stopped what I was doing and headed over.
Thanks. The tea was excellent as always. I've tried a lot of cafes around town, but none of them hold a candle to this one.
Glad to hear it. We really appreciate your business. I smiled back at him. My name, Reikyu Arisu. Occupation, waitress.
Oh, actually...
When I handed him his change, his eyes lit up. What is it? Tilting my head, I gazed into his eyes. He faltered and glanced away.
I was just wondering if you had a boyfriend, or a girlfriend, or...
Cinderella, let's go! I was not expecting to be that excited for him. I'm sorry. I'll be normal.
He's the best boy, though.
Yeah, he was so normal. I missed
Not
that.
like normal, but like... He had the best character growth out of all the characters.
Yeah.
So far.
Anyways. Hey, you there, waitress. Let me borrow you for a sec. I heard a certain someone calling from behind the counter and flinched exaggeratedly in mock surprise. Coming. Sorry, but we'll have to pick this up again some other time. I shot the customer a quick wink.
Aw.
In response, he smiled slightly and raised a hand in farewell.
She's playing with his heart.
Yeah. Maybe it
The
gets
tips
her
must
better
be good,
yeah. Same thought process. You called Cinderella?
He's in the fancy outfit too. Let's fucking
Yeah.
go.
Ouch. After the man left the cafe, I returned to the counter, only to get smacked upside the head with an empty plate. Yeah, that sounds about right.
KO.
I told you, when you're on the floor, you address me as sir. Of course. Of course it's like this. Boops him.
So?
Yes, sir. I responded cheerfully, and the grumpy-looking man let out a sigh. His name was Cinderella, and he managed the cafe. In other words, he was my boss. That sounds
We're
familiar.
seeing a lot of I was gonna say we're seeing a lot of parallels with not only this cafe, but like who owns it, who works in it, who lives in it.
Yep. I don't mind you getting chatty with me with the regulars I can read so good, but don't get too distracted.
Oh, we got chatty with him and his own route.
Yeah, we've been through that one again. Okay, I won't. Normally Cinderella liked to ditch the cafe and goof off in town, but every now and then he would get bored enough to help me run the store. No.
Okay, so not dialed up to 11, but basically back to where he started.
Yeah. He was a fairly handy guy and could master any task you threw at him, but his social skills weren't quite as polished. Yeah, let's put it that way.
I don't know, he got the message across pretty quickly, just face to the plate to face, you know?
Yeah. Were you just insulting me in your head? No. I cocked my head cutely.
Yes.
Whatever. Anyway, see that couple by the window? Once you take their order, you can go on break and... Just then.
Explosions! Oh. I hate your guts!
Oh dear. A loud voice rang through the dining area, followed by a slapping sound.
Drama! Oh no! Kaguya! What did you do, buddy?
Oh dear.
Ooh.
The source was none other than the very couple Cinderella had just indicated. Ow? Do you want me to take over the female customer?
No, I got it. Okay. Sorry, I was like, wait a minute. Do you have anything to say for yourself?
The peaceful atmosphere was gone, replaced by sizzling tension. Evidently, the woman had struck her boyfriend. He sat there clutching his cheek and gazing at his view with a half smile. Feels like a soap opera I can read. I smell drama.
I smell soap. Well, you're quite lovely when you're angry. I'm trying to get the voice down.
You'll get there.
Yeah.
He grinned like a goofball. Naturally, the woman struck him again.
That's a good smack.
Oh dear. This time the impact sent him toppling right out of his chair.
Hell yeah! Oh, right. I'm done with you. We're over. Goodbye forever.
And with that, the woman stormed out.
Yay.
Sheesh, what a harpy.
Hey.
Cinderella wasn't one to mince his words. Will you approach the man on the floor? No.
If we say no, does the route end?
Probably. Do you want to find out?
I mean, yeah.
Okay. Hey. Ouch. He smacked me upside the head again. Don't just stand there. Do your job. Here, take this over. Yes, sir. I took the wet towel from his hands and headed over to the customer. Excuse me, are you alright, sir? I pressed the cool cloth against his swollen cheek.
Yeah, I'm alright. Thanks.
He blinked back at me, his eyes wide as saucers.
Oh.
Hmm? Then, out of nowhere, he clasped my hand in his.
Rebound, girlfriend!
Eek!
お嬢さん、めっちゃ可愛いやん。僕と付き合わへん？
Blimey, you're one fit bird. Will you go out with me?
Too bad you're not reading Grey Q this time.
I know, right? Bird, 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 bird!
And asked me out on the spot the freaking gasp sound effect.
I was gonna say, what the fuck are you guys looking at? This is a train wreck.
All around us, I could hear the other customers whispering. In response to this sudden confession, you... Oh dear.
Punch him. In the face.
That would be funny. He's already been getting it around.
I mean, it's basically it's a sketch comedy routine at this point. Punch him.
Yeah, sure, fuck it.
I was gonna say we're probably already on the bad route anyway.
Yeah,
so.
from that first no. Might as well we'll send it, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
あいた。
Ow!
In a knee-jerk reaction, I hit him with a karate chop. Can you blame me? Everything about this guy screamed womanizer.
おいこら。
Hey, no hitting the customers.
何やってんだ。
Ouch. The next thing I knew, Cinderella walked right up to me and smacked me with his plate again.
I told you, comedy sketch routine. Let's go.
Yep. Can we romance Cinderella again, actually?
We fail so bad we accidentally romance Cinderella again.
That would be funny. I hope that's an option. I'm sorry, it was a reflex. Feeling guilty over my violent reaction, I apologized, but the man waved it away with a smile.
はあ、別にかまへんよ。全然言いたくあらへんかったし。
Sorry, I'm listening to voice.
今のあれやろ？僕に対するツッコミや。
Oh, I don't terribly mind. Didn't even hurt if I'm honest. That was a sort of playful smack, yeah?
Playful?
自分おもろいやな。
Playful? You're a funny girl, you are.
Somehow, my rude behavior had provoked no more than an amiable grin.
で、どうなん？僕と
So
付き合
what
うてくれるん？
So what says you? Fancy a date with me? Happily accept or politely decline. Politely decline,
Okay.
obviously.
Yeah. Just as I was fumbling for a polite way to turn him down, Cinderella cut in.
お客様。
Smacks him with the plate.
当店でのナンパ行為はお
Sir,
断り
this is
して
a
います。
cafe, not a dating service. What? Is flirting against the rules? I tilted my head, confused. He turned and glared at me.
今俺が
It is
決めた。
now.
Well, Reikyu, you're out of a job. Shit.
It's just some Lawson tips, it's okay.
彼氏さん？
Is this your boyfriend then?
I sure hope so. The man gestured to Cinderella.
なわけ
Like
ねえだろ。
hell I am. You think I'd date this plain Jane?
Ouch.
Well, there goes that, I
Ouch.
guess.
There goes my heart. Just vaporized.
Yep. Rejected. Thanks, Cinderella. Love you too. Wow, harsh.
めっちゃ可愛いし、色気あるやん。
She's stunning, ravishing, and adorable to boot.
Aw, thanks. He casually took my hand. How lewd.
じゃあ、僕と付き合ってください。
So, how about a date?
調子に
Slow
乗
your
るな。
roll, punk. This time Cinderella smacked him with the plate.
Yes! I called it! Ow!
Cinderella, you can't hit a customer.
I told you,
Yeah.
comedy sketch routine right
Yep.
here.
No, who
Who
cares?
cares? He's not a customer if we kick him out.
True, true. I feel like a lot of people would care, actually. The man lay collapsed over the table, staring at my legs. That's a choice.
That is definitely a choice. But
その制服もめっちゃエロかった
Yeah. That uniform is cute and sexy too.
Cinderella.
I know, I just needed the sigh for this
Okay.
bizarre lunatic.
That's fair. Cinderella silently landed another blow with the plates. They have really durable plates at this cafe. I should ask Cinderella where he sources them. True.
It has to be locally made.
Yeah.
I
Cinderella.
don't know about you, but that mass manufactured stuff chips too easily.
Yeah. Cinderella, will you stop? At this point,
No.
our cafe's reputation was in danger. I grabbed him by the arm and glared up at him. What?
No.
That's enough. Knock it off.
Also.
Fine. Damn, he listened.
One more plate smack for good measure. Like I said, like, and whenever they're not the main love interest, like, they still have their personality traits and they still have, like, their flaws and stuff, but it's, like, dialed way back.
Yeah. Cinderella glanced around the dining floor. His sharp glare made all the other customers hastily avert their eyes. That goes for the rest of you. This is a restaurant. No ogling my employee.
Appreciate the view. Tips.
Can we ogle him, though? Is that an option?
I was gonna say, can I ogle the boss?
そんなん言うて兄ちゃん独り占めする気やろ。
Oh, come off it, mate. You think you can keep her all to yourself? I reckon you choose the uniform? Yeah?
Cinderella promptly smacked him again.
Let's fucking go!
After the man left, an awkward silence descended over the entire cafe. Unable to stand it, I went on lunch break and stole away to my favorite spot. Phew. I took a bite of my sandwich and washed it down with a sip of milk.
Birds attack. Sandwich spotted.
What an odd guy. As I gazed up at the sky, I thought back to today's events. Working in the service industry, I experienced my fair share of flirtatious comments, but never before had anyone ask me out on the spot. Not only that, but he probably wanted to use me as a rebound girlfriend. Not something most women would enjoy, I'd wager.
I told you, rebound girlfriend, let's go.
But for some reason, even though I'd only just met him, part of me was already a tiny bit fond of him.
Because he's just a goofy little guy.
Maybe part of it was simply his good looks, as shallow as that sounds. What would have happened if I had said yes?
Oh, we get the bad ending.
Yeah. Fortunately.
Like, it seems like he appreciates the chase.
Mhm.
He doesn't like it when things are too easy.
Yeah. Fortunately, no one was around to hear me talking to myself.
知りたい
Was that Cinderella? Or was that the wizard? Wizard.
That might have been Wizard.
Wizard. Want to find
I
out?
think we just got the bad end. Let's go!
Yeah! Speed run! Just then, I heard a voice from behind me, and my heart nearly stopped. Yep. Wizard.
Yep, it's Wizard.
I turned around just as a black cat walked up and nuzzled itself against me. Oh, a cat.
Well,
Wait.
Peachy, to be fair, we said we didn't help him, and then we punched him when he confessed to us, so...
Yeah, like we expected this from the first choice.
Yeah.
Wait, who are you? My gaze slowly shifted up towards the man towering over me, dressed in peculiar garb.
He's tall?
はじめまして
I mean, at least
俺
taller
は魔
than...
法使い
Oh, very cute. Nice to meet you. I'm the wizard. You're...
Punch him in the lake.
Wow. You're the wizard?
そうそう
Yep.
あ
Oh,
君
no,
は
you don't
名
need to
乗らなくてもいい
introduce
よ
yourself. I know all
俺は
about
君のことは
you.
よーく知ってるんだ
Sure,
wizards.
buddy.
I can hear it.
あその
Wait a
反応
minute. Do you think I'm
さて
trying
は
to
俺
hit
の
on
ことを
you?
ナンパ野郎
That's
だ
the next
Absolutely, love
episode.
doctor.
You're not?
違わない
Maybe
かも
somewhere in
ね
between?
ただ
But I must warn
俺のナ
you,
ンパは
what I
甘い
offer is
甘い
not
恋に
sugar
誘
and
うものじゃない
romance. So you're a bad boy, is that it?
さあどうだろ
Perhaps. Care to find out?
う試してみたい
No thanks.
I forget, we date the wizard next game, right?
Yeah, I do want to save him for after Snow, just because I feel like
Oh yeah,
his route will
completely.
just reveal a lot about whatever the fuck is actually going on.
Yeah, I
So-
agree.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, he's the Wizard of Oz. He's the man behind the curtain.
Yeah.
I mean, I have no idea what fairy tale reference he is. He's just a wizard.
Yep. The wizard, if you will.
The wizard.
Alas, what a shame.
ところで
How do you feel about
君は
strangers
ナンパに
hitting
つい
on
て
you
どう？
anyway?
俺はこう思う
The way I see it. While it
ナ
may
ンパ
seem
は
shallow
浮
at
つい
first
た行為
glance,
のように見
it
える
remains a
けれど
valid way of meeting
出会い
people.
の一つの方
I
法
mean-
なんだって
Yeah, not wrong, I guess.
考えてごらん
Think about it.
人
We
の
go
多
our
くは
entire
すれ違い
lives never speaking to the
多くは
vast majority of the human race.
自分の
Those who
人
play
生
a
に
part
関
in
わ
our
れるキャラ
lives
ク
are
タ
but a
ー
fraction of the total
世界の総人
population.
口から比べれ
Oh
ば
no, I forgot
ほんの
the
わずか
fucking math.
その中で
So, how many
人と
times will
人
you
が
get the
知り合
chance
い
to
にな
meet
れる機
someone
会は
new?
どのくらいある
Uh,
出会いなんてそこらに転がっているように思えてなかなかないも
It
の
seems so
だよ
commonplace, but it's actually
その
rarer
せっ
than
か
you
くの
might
機会を
think.
自
I
分か
must
ら
say,
潰
you
しちゃう
truly
なんて
wasted your opportunity
惜しい
back
ことした
there.
ね
oh, we know.
Yeah. Sorry, but I don't want people to think I'm easy.
That's
そ
fair.
んなクソみたい
Your
な
precious
プライド
self-image matters little
会議
compared
の
to the
前では
mission
必
at
要ないと思
hand.
うんだけどな
Excuse me? The mission?
The
Interesting.
wizard's all about the
So-
mission.
Indeed, the mission. What mission?
さあ時間だ
Nah, but I'm
ヒロイン
afraid
ちゃ
our
ん
time is up, little
もう一
heroine.
度出会い
Back
から
to the
頑
start,
張ってみ
but
よう
try harder this time.
Wow.
Let's go. Oh wow.
Wizard literally just said, "Well, fuck you."
Yeah. The permission from the cat, so true.
The permission.
But apparently Reikyu is 5'3" and Wizard is 5'9".
Well, that is Kaguya's route.
Yep, that's it. That's the game.
That's the game, everybody. We go to the lake and we talk with the wizard.
Yep.
Anyway, back to the first choice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we work here. That's our job.
Yeah, we won't let Cinderella hit us this time.
I mean,
Thinking quickly, I pulled out my handkerchief, ran some cold water over it, then hurried over to the fallen man. Excuse me, are you alright, sir? I pressed the cool cloth against his swollen cheek. Oh, that's previously
Oh.
read. Haha.
hehehehe.
Uh,
Just accept him outright. Why not? I mean, we already had our fun and punched him, so.
I'm gonna save anyways in case that's somehow wrong.
I mean, you never know.
Yeah.
That's the problem with this game.
Yeah. Sure. What?
Yeah!
My response shocked our audience even more.
付き合う言うてもどこに行くんですかっちゅうことやないで
You know I don't mean
男
going
女も分かっちゅ
outside,
うこと
right?
やで
I mean go out as in romantically.
Yes, I understand that.
ほんま
You mean it?
めっちゃ嬉しいわ
Excellent! I'm chuffed to bits!
おいおい
Whoa, whoa, hold the damn phone. Are you out of your mind? Did I overwork you to the point of insanity?
Bad end, we get institutionalized.
The next thing I knew, Cinderella walked right up to me and put a hand on my forehead.
熱はない
No favor. I'm afraid I'm sound in body and mind, sir.
Damn.
いやだっ
Are you sure?
Yeah, the wizard told me so.
Cinderella stared at me in shock. My new boyfriend pushed himself up onto his feet and gave me a big hug, beaming from ear to ear.
よっしゃ今日から君は僕の彼女さん
Brilliant!
や
As of today, you're my new girlfriend.
What the? Hey, get off her, pal.
Hey, they're boyfriend and girlfriend, it's fine.
Conscious of the public eye, I gave him a little push and he backed away from me.
ちなみに自分名前なんて言うん
So tell me, what's your name?
It's Reikyu.
そうなんや。かわいい名前や
Reikyu?
な。
That's a
自分
fetching
にめっちゃ
name.
似合うとるで。
Suits you perfectly.
He claps both of my hands and shook them firmly. Thanks. What about you?
僕は
Me?
かぐやっていう。
Name's Kaguya.
自
But you
分の
can
好
call
き
me
な
whatever
呼び名
pet name
や
you fancy.
Hehe. I think I'll stick to Kaguya for now.
じゃあ今から自分を
Well then,
僕の
Reikyu.
彼女さんってい
I
う
think
こ
this is
と
the
で
start of a wonderful new relationship.
I look forward to it very much. It was just another day in your average run-of-the-mill cafe. Or so I thought. But through a series of unforeseen events, I ended up with a boyfriend.
Let's go, new love. This is gonna end terribly.
信じられね
I feel you, Cinderella.
And also, sales at the cafe are gonna tank
Yeah,
once news of this gets out.
I can't believe this. After that one-of-a-kind whirlwind courtship, I went back to work like nothing ever happened. Believe what?
えあんたたち
You
の
and
こと
him.
だよ
How long have you known each
出会
other?
って
Like
何
2
分だ
minutes?
1
1
分くらいしか経ってねえだろ 出会って即
He asked you
告
about
って
the
即
second he laid
OK
eyes on you.
なんだ
And you
その
said
インスタント
yes?
恋愛は
Talk about speed dating.
Look, when you have game, you got game.
What a time saver, am I right? Kaguya was sitting at his table, sipping the tea I made for him with a smile on his face. He noticed me looking at him and waved cheerfully. Not to be outdone, I waved back. Meanwhile, Cinderella rolled his eyes.
男の方
I
は
could
まだ
maybe
わから
understand
な
where
いでも
his
ない
coming
が
from.
あ
But
んたが
you?
一番理
You're
解できね
indecipherable.
What are you, her dad?
Maybe.
Not in this timeline.
No. Close enough. You think so?
えそうですか
You were
って
actually surprised by this? Well, what's so bad about it?
いや普通
Is it
あるだ
not
ろ
blindingly
家庭とか
obvious?
経
The
過とか
pacing
躊
is
躇とか
wrong.
いろい
The
ろ
whole damn setup is wrong.
That's when we get the turn halfway through the story where we find out the relationship is actually super toxic.
Yeah? What do you mean, setup?
そりゃ
You know,
恋愛
order
の
of
いろはってい
operations,
うか
the emotional arc.
っていうか
Oh, we already knew Cinderella was a romantic person.
Yeah, it's gonna tug his cheeks.
物事に
You
は
can't
順
go
序があ
from
るし
0 to 100 with these
積み重ねとかあるだろう。
things. It takes time. Or steps. Oh, I see. How very traditionalist of you.
Let's go. Yeah, sometimes people can just meet and then just hit it off and they're like, yep, cool. And then they're just a couple and it's like, fuck, how did that happen?
He reached out and pinched my cheek.
今の
I don't like your
小馬
sass,
鹿に
lady.
した言い方がムカつく
I've got trying to be sassy.
ああいう見た目も
The
軽
guy
い
thinks he's a
男は
lady
中身
killer.
も
You can tell from the
軽
way
い
he's dressed.
絶対
He goes
に
through
女
girls
を
like
どっか
underwear,
引
I
っ張って
guarantee
るタイ
it.
プだ
Boxers or briefs?
Good question. Thank you for your contribution to the challenge, Peachy.
あんただって
You saw
見
it for
たろ
yourself. One minute he
あいつが
gets stumped,
あんた
the
に
next he's
告る
already
直
moved on to
前
you.
別の女に振られてたじゃねえか
So true. Rubbing my sore cheek, I tilted my head in contemplation. What's so bad about that? If anything, it just means I know for a fact that he's single. It's...
Wow, okay. I would have said red flag, but
Oh
it's
dear.
trick Cinderella's talking about bras.
Oh boy.
いや確かに
いや
そうだけど
Laser sport.
Look, Cinderella.
なんだよ
What? I don't approve of you trash talking some guy you only just met. Thank you.
Right,
よく
you.
知りもしない
Oh, but
相
it's
手と
fine
付
if
き合うの
you
は
date him
いいことな
instead.
のかよ
Yeah, it's her choice, dude.
Getting to know each other is the whole point of dating. You go on dates because you want to know more about them. He scowled at me, as he should.
好きなのか
So you're interested in this guy? I wouldn't agree to it if I wasn't.
We also get the bad end if we
あんたが
didn't.
いいな
Yeah.
らそれ以上は何も言わねえわ
If you're fine with it,
泣き
then I'll
を
let
見
it
るな
go.
よ
But don't come crying to me, got it?
What if I come angry to you?
Why not? Why you comfort me?
いい
Not
Yeah.
on
That-
your
Salary.
ほら
life.
さっ
Now
さ
go
と
take
休
your
憩行
lunch
ってこい
break.
Damn.
Okay, thanks. Be back soon. I pulled off my apron and headed over to see my new boyfriend.
Boyfriend break, let's go.
Sorry it took so long.
全
Reckless,
然
let's
待たないの可愛いひーさんのこと見て
No
たら
problem at all,
時間
love.
なんてあっ
Watching
とい
you
う間に
work,
過ぎとった
why?
わ
Time just flies
Oh my
by. I mean it.
Glad to hear it.
お腹すいた
Feeling peckish?
Like a bird.
The birds.
Am I ever?
僕もやほ
Me
な今から美
too.
味しいもん食べに行こ
Let's go have ourselves a bite to eat. Not in this place, of course.
Okay.
うおっとその前に
Oh, but first.
Hmm. Oh, sorry, I forgot I was narrator for a sec. Kaguya knelt down in front of me and offered his hand.
僕のひーさん
If
お
I
手をどうぞ
might take your hand, Poppet.
And so, hand in hand, we walked down the street. Considering I only known him for a few hours, this was all happening rather quickly, and I was a bit flustered. What do you want to have for lunch, Kaguya?
僕は何でもええで
Oh, I'm
ひー
fine
さん
with
は何が
anything.
食べたい
What about you?
Good question. The lunch rush had come and gone, but the streets were still brimming with appetizing smells.
We know nothing about this fucker.
Yep. Fried food,
Fuck.
meats, baked goods. As I debated internally, my eyes met Kaguya's, and he smiled.
迷ってんならそこらのうまそうな店
If you're not
片っ端から
sure,
見てじっ
why
くり
don't we
決め
just
よ
browse through all the shops that look interesting?
Good idea.
うなんか食べたい
You
もん
ever
あったら
hear of a
Any
Wetzel's
time we
Pretzels? If anything catches your fancy, let me know, yeah?
Okay, same goes for you.
僕はひーさんの好きなもんがええな
I'm fine with whatever you like. When I'm with my favorite girl, I'd rather have what she's having anyhow. Okay, I'm starting to see why this goes the route that it does, or like why they put tags on this. Fuck.
Yeah.
He has no personality. His personality is all the other person in being in a relationship. I know how this ends.
Yep. His favorite girl. Already? Jeez, I'm blushing. No matter what.
そういうもんやって
And the worst part, it'll be a monster of Riku's own making.
Again.
No matter what.
At this point, it was clear I was going to have to be the one to make the decision. In terms of first date food, I usually go with a nice, classy cafe, but I couldn't exactly go to a rival cafe on my lunch break. Perhaps my best bet was a crepe or something in that vein. How about crepes?
ええな
Oh,
じゃあ
that
クレープ屋
sounds
さんに行こう
lovely.
か
Let's find ourselves a crepe stand then.
Okay. Grinning, Kaguya led me by the hand.
Oh, it's not love bombing. Love bombing is when you just like overly affectionate towards the same person and just won't let up. This is just indifference. Because he doesn't really have a strong opinion either way. He just wants to be in a relationship.
Yeah. He seemed really happy. His childlike innocence made a simple stroll feel like so much fun.
そりゃあめっちゃ嬉しいもん
Of course I am, Poppet. I'm over the moon to have a girlfriend as cute as you. Oh, over the moon.
What's Poppet mean anyway?
I don't know. Think of it like
ひーさん
sweetheart. Or princess, if you fancy.
I've never heard it before. Is it some kind of regional slang?
All the way from
So-
America.
どないやろな
Maybe. I couldn't tell ya.
You're not from around here. Are you, Kaguya? Are you from a different country?
そう見える
Is that how I come off?
So you're not? Or... I was merely trying to make small talk. After
I don't know.
After all, it was the perfect way to learn more about my new boyfriend, as well as a healthy part of any budding relationship. But just then, a delicious fragrance wafted its way over to us.
I was gonna say, love bombing is more what happened in Gretel's route.
Yeah.
Not that extreme though, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking around for the source, I followed my nose and found... kebabs. Yeah, kebabs of all things.
we're changing plans immediately.
Hmm...
んどないしたん
Hmm? What is it?
Oh, nothing. I turned away from the kebab stand.
Just get kebabs.
No matter how good it sounded, there was no way in hell I could eat kebabs on a first date.
Why not?
Besides, I already told Kaguya I wanted crepes. Cute, feminine crepes. There's her
Yo,
answer.
fuck the crepes, man. Kebabs.
I would sooner die than turn to him and ask, hey, can we go with kebabs instead? So, I need to shift my stomach out of the meat mode and start thinking about dessert.
あなあヒーさん
Oh, look,
What's the
Poppet.
matter?
I spotted
Hayako.
something tasty. Let's be off.
Kebab crepes? Don't
Eat the
have-
kebabs and the crepes. No, thank you. I don't like sweet with my savory.
Fair enough. How do you feel
What
about
about you?
salty and sweet?
Ooh, salty and sweet, that's a different story.
Okay.
But like savory meat with sugar and not even like brown sugar, no thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, you usually get like a light dessert with lunch. You don't get like something heavy.
I mean, crepes aren't necessarily heavy. Depends on, like, if you stuff it full of shit.
But stuffing it full of shit is the best part.
I mean, yeah, but you don't have to.
I am paying like 15 to 18 bucks for a crepe. I'm getting that shit stuffed.
Well, pulling me by the hand, he led me to the very same kebab stand.
ここやここ
This one.
あ
Ah,
ーいい匂いや
what
な
a scrummy smell.
Yeah. It was such perfect timing. I didn't quite know how to react.
Scrummy.
Behind the stand, the man in charge was happily grilling his skewers of meat over a charcoal fire. Oh, the closer I get, the better it smells.
なあクレープはやめてここにせえへん
Say, why don't we forget about the crepes and get kebabs instead? Let's fucking go.
Huh?
なんかめっちゃ美味しそうやし
They look good,
さ
don't
ん
you
が好き
think?
なもんでええって
I know I said I'd
言
let you
ったんやけど
choose, but would you mind terribly?
He tilted his head inquiringly. Oh, no, I don't mind at all. That suits me fine. I gave him a thumbs up. If anything, it's everything I ever wanted and more.
So, our character needs to be more honest about their feelings because they're so worried about appearances.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the wizard called it like so caught up with appearances.
Yeah.
So
In response, Kaguya gave me a thumbs up in kind, tapping his thumb against mine.
よっしゃおっちゃん
excellent.
僕と彼女に
Sir,
一つちょうだい
I'd like to order one for
もちろん、
each of us.
カップル割引でな。
Couples discount if you got it. You ever just walk up to a place? Hey, do you discount couples?
With our purchase complete, we paid a visit to the lake. No one else was around, so it was the perfect place for a private moment. Kaguya, let me pay you back for my half.
ええって何これ
No,
女の子に
that's
使わせ
alright.
るわけいかへん
A
し
proper gentleman never lets his lady
兄
pay.
さんが可愛いから
Besides, you
おっ
already
ちゃん
cut
も
me a
負けてくれ
discount when you saw
な
how cute you were.
あ
Shall we
ここら
sit
辺にしよう
here?
か
He spotted a bench on the lakeshore and set his things onto it. Are you sure you don't want me to pay you back?
Creepy stalker.
ええよ そんな遠慮することなんかあらへん
Yep,
って
no problem. Nothing to feel guilty about.
Okay then. Thanks for treating me.
はいどういたしまし
Of
て
course. You're very welcome.
He patted me on the head. Head pats, let's go.
Head pats.
Yeah, head pats.
Head pats.
Head pats.
Oh, I found it.
Oh right, I don't have head pats set up on this
It's almost
model.
gone though. You don't have head pats set up on this model? How dare you?
It's okay.
I mean, it will be okay.
I'm just gonna have it on the ear and it's gonna be there constantly. Constant head pats.
Head pat.
Forever head pats. Give me a sec.
Forever head pats. You mean it? Forever and ever 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 and ever.
But
What?
okay.
Oh, you said forever head pats, so I went forever and ever 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 and ever.
Yeah, I had a feeling that might have been the case, but Ugh. Anyways.
ほな座って食べよ
Now, why don't we sit down and have our meal?
Okay.
ああちょい待ち
Oh, just a moment.
Huh? Without warning, he suddenly pulled off his kimono and spread it out on the bench. What?
そのまま座るとひいさんの服が汚
We
れ
didn't
る
want
や
your
ろ
your clothes
僕の
dirty
着
now,
物の
would
上に
we?
座ったらええや
Go ahead and sit on my kimono
I see, I see.
that I'm still wearing in the spray, even though we could have shown abs.
I mean, it might have been just one layer of it rather than his whole kimono, but I don't know, man.
Still,
Yeah. Let's see.
I came here to date boys, not dress up dolls.
Red is apparently 6 foot, which makes sense. Alice is the same height as protagonist, which makes sense.
Whoops, hit enter too early.
Yeah.
I mean, it does make sense that Alice would be the same height because they're basically mirrors of each other.
Yeah. What? You don't have to do that. It's just a bench. Besides,
I'm obsessive.
I don't want to get your kimono all dirty.
僕のは別に汚れても
Oh,
構
I
わへ
don't
んから
mind a little dirt.
Nah.
Come have a sit down, alright?
He pulled me down onto the bench on top of his kimono layer. Sorry about this.
そんな遠慮せんとき
Nothing to apologize for.
僕の
Anyone would
彼
do
女
this
さん
for
なん
their
やから
girlfriend,
当然やろ
surely. Nah, just you, buddy.
Would they?
そういう
Not
も
for
んや
a
って
bench.
Yeah.
ちょっと待ってな今用意して
They would indeed. Now, just a moment while I get you your meal. Especially if you're gonna eat food, that's gonna make crumbs everywhere.
Yeah. Like, unless the bench was, like, particularly dirty, but, like, at that point...
It
don't
just seems
sit
like a
on it.
normal ass bench.
Yeah. He pulled a...
You know.
Yeah. He pulled a skewer out of the paper bag and slid each piece of meat off the stick onto a paper plate.
Eh?
What are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?
ひいさんが食べる分を取り分けてるんやで
Oh, I'm getting your
ほら
meat
か
ready
ぶりつ
for
い
you.
たら口
We
元
don't
で
want
汚
you
れ
to
る
have
や
a
ん
bite off it with your teeth, otherwise you'll get sauce on your face.
ひいさんはかぶりついた方が良かったか
Do you prefer it that
ほ
way?
ら
If so, you can just take this one.
I feel so pampered. Almost like I'm a real princess.
A real princess.
大げさやな
It's nothing. Any boyfriend would do the same.
I somehow doubt that.
I was gonna say, we've had 3
Wait,
stories where
Nikita.
nobody's done this.
ほらひいさん
Yeah.
あ
Here you go, pop it. Now say, ah.
Wait, what? He held the kebab, or rather, just the meat, up to my mouth.
あ
Say, ah.
After a moment of hesitation, I opened my mouth and took the bite.
お味の方はどうですか
How's it taste?
It's divine.
Oh, you don't taste the poison?
My reply came
Wrong
out.
story.
My reply came out a bit louder than I meant it to. The meat was delightfully tender, and the juices danced on my tongue as I chewed. The seasoning wasn't too overpowering either.
Oh, now I want kebabs.
As I savored the meat, Kaguya beamed with satisfaction.
よかった。
Glad to hear it.
今度の僕の分も
You can have my
食べていいよ
portion too if you fancy. No.
As he spoke, he slid the pieces of meat from the second skewer. What? Don't you want it?
僕はさっき自分のとこの店で食べたからお腹いっぱいやねん。
Nah, I already ate while I was at your cafe. Who cares?
Surely the little treats we sell aren't enough of a meal to satisfy a grown man.
Eat the kebab, bitch.
If memory serves, all he had was his coat and a cup of tea. I'd be starving if I was him. Wait, then why the heck did I suggest crepes of all things?
僕な、こう見えて小食やねん。
Despite how I look, I don't actually have a huge appetite.
さ
Oh no, he has snow syndrome.
どうぞ遠慮なく召し上がれ。
Here we are. Go on, have some more. He's fattening you up to cook in the oven.
Oh dear. He stabbed a piece of meat onto his fork and held it up to my mouth. I was caught in quite a quandary. Was he actually full?
Absolutely not.
Or was he just offering to be polite? Will you eat Kaguya's share?
Absolutely not. I say we make him eat his own. Encourage him to eat it himself.
Yeah. Kaguya, do you think I'm some kind of hunger monster? I gave him a withering stare. Oh, let's see. Cinder is 5'9", Gretel is 5'8", Kaguya is 5'9", Snow is 5'5", Wolf is also 5'5", Huntsman is 6 foot.
Damn, Huntsman can get it.
Yeah.
Huntsman's slightly shorter than me.
You're too tall, then.
I'm like 6'2", 6'3".
You're too tall.
I know. When I can headbutt the doorways of my own house without jumping. I know.
Anyways, I gave him a withering stare.
食欲魔人。
Hunger monster?
You've never heard of it. It's a wicked creature that gobbles up everything in sight.
僕も食べられてし
Am
まう
I in danger then?
Do you want to be?
Do you want to be? Whoa. Hold up.
He cocked his head playfully. Oh yes, I'm afraid so.
ひいさんならええよ。
Alright then.
僕を
It's
食
for
べ
you. I don't care a jot. Go ahead and gobble me up. That was last story, buddy.
Oh dear.
I mean, sorry.
Let's see, make a sassy retort, play along, ignore it, or give him a weird look.
My gut reaction says one of the top two.
Yeah. I think
Because like he's oblivious, so giving him a weird look won't fix anything.
yeah.
Ignoring it just is rude.
Mm-hmm.
So we can either play along and just gobble him up, or make a sassy retort.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he'll respond to sass very well, but
yeah, I think playing along might
So-
be the best option.
but Cinderella also said we're pretty sassy, so
Yeah.
that's all he really knows about us.
I still think we should play along.
All right, let's play along. I want to eat him.
Roar!
Rar XD.
I grabbed him by the arm and made monster noises at him.
うわかわいいな。
Ugh, you're so cute.
I think that's the 8th time he's called me cute so far.
9th.
Are you counting?
No.
Okay, but all jokes aside, I think we should take this opportunity to eat together.
はい
Right, you are.
He retracted his fork. Then something occurred to me. Oh, did you want me to feed you next?
せやねん食べさせてくれる
Brilliant. Would you?
Will you feed
Yes.
Kaguya?
Absolutely. You see that smile? We feed that smile.
I do find it funny that we do have the option to say no, though.
But why would we?
It'd be funny.
We already said like, hey, we're gonna eat together. We're gonna eat the exact same way.
Yeah, might as well. He passed me the fork. I stabbed a piece of meat onto it and held it up to his mouth.
Unless we have terrible hand-eye and we poke him in the eye.
That would
Then
be
never
funny.
again.
Say,
ああ
how is it?
Hmm.
うわこれめっち
My
ゃ美味しいな
God. It's delicious.
I know, right? Our mushy couple quotient was off the charts.
Bleh, 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 bleh.
Hard to think we were total strangers just a few hours ago.
Sorry, couples make me
Mike.
sick.
お水
Here, have some water.
Thanks. Once our meal was finished, Kaguya took the initiative to throw away our trash and buy us some drinks. I offered to go in his place, but he insisted. He really seems to enjoy waiting on me hand and foot. Thanks for always being so considerate, Kaguya.
別に
And the one day I've known you, you've been the most considerate man ever. No problem, really. I do it because I like to. That's all. He's a servant at heart. Let's be real here.
I mean, in Cinderella's route, Kaguya was our servant, so...
I know, that's the point.
Hmm. Afterwards, the two of us stared out at the gently rippling lake. My lunch break was approaching its end, and I knew the time would be better spent having some sort of conversation, but I think we were both in a bit of a food coma. Curiously, I stole a glance at Kaguya's face in profile beside me.
んどないしたん
Hmm? What is it?
How's your cheek? I gingerly touched the pink, swollen spot on his face. Though he didn't let it show, I could tell it must hurt badly.
男が台無し
Has it spoiled my good looks?
I'm afraid so. You really think highly of yourself, huh?
冗談やって
I'm just messing.
I pulled my handkerchief out of my pocket and pressed it against his cheek.
このハンカチ汚れてしもうたな
No need to dirty your handkerchief
新
on
しい
my
の買
account.
うた方がええ
Or
か
should I
な
buy you a new one? Okay, that's a little weird.
I don't need a new one, but you should keep this one and use it when you need to. Kaguya cocked his head at me.
ほんまに僕がもらってもええ
You
の
sure I can have it?
Sure, I don't mind.
Girl smell.
Oh dear. He blinked at me in surprise, the same way he had back when we first met. Then, the look in his eyes softened.
ほんなら
In that case, I gratefully accept. Cheers.
His lips curled in a contented grin. Thank you. You're very welcome. Timing. Don't mind me just talking to myself over here.
Exactly, it's fine.
I grinned right back at him.
自分ええ子やな
You're such a good girl.
Well, I'm certainly not a bad girl, but I don't know that I'm especially good either.
Good girl. You sure about that?
You can never judge a book by its cover. It's not too late to change your mind about me, you know? I smirked mischievously.
全然。
I'm afraid I don't plan on it, Poppet. But
But
I suppose you could.
I think it's a little premature for that. I'll need to wait until I know you a bit better.
Yeah, we're only at the table of contents here. You muppet! You're supposed to say, not gonna happen. Like a proper good girl.
You spawned like a proper good girl. Oh dear.
I don't like it. I feel like we have to say yes, though, but shit.
I'm not sure that we do have to say yes, though.
That's fair.
Yeah.
If we play around with it, then we can say no.
Yeah.
Go with your heart.
I did tell you I'm not a good girl, right?
Oh, you sly minx!
Just then, Kaguya looked up as though he'd just remembered something.
ひいさん、この後もお仕事やろ?
You're going back to work after this, right, Poppet? Are you right on time then?
Oh, crap. And by oh crap, I meant oh crap! I was having so much fun I completely lost track of time.
It's okay, you just have to break the sound barrier. Shall we head back?
Yes, please. Before I could rise to my feet, he offered me a hand.
If I might take your hand, princess.
Thank you.
Pulls out a butcher knife.
Gosh, I really do feel like a princess. Hoping to contribute something in return, I reached to take his kimono off the bench and shake it out, but he beat me to the punch there too. He thinks of everything! As he brushed the dust from his clothes, he turned to me.
Oh,
Here's
here's an idea. What time do you get off work today? I could wait around until then.
Sure.
2 dates in 1 day? Fuck, we work fast.
Yeah. On the way back to the cafe, we engaged in lots of fun conversation.
Have you been working there long?
Well, I don't know. About 2 years now?
2 years? That would explain it. The tea made me was positively exquisite.
That's kind of you to say. How was the scone?
Oh, yes. Very nice.
I baked those myself, actually.
Wow. That's incredible. So you're adorable and a good cook.
No, I'm nothing special. And yet, I was gloating internally.
I quite like that cafe, actually. The food's nice, the uniform's sexy, and the manager, oh, he's a bit of a character, eh?
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is. His name is Cinderella.
Yeah, Cinderella's a good guy. Really fun to work with. Oh, but to be clear, you're a good guy too. You're really kind and you're always smiling. I figured I probably shouldn't gush about some other guy in front of my new boyfriend, so I added some compliments for him too.
You sure you're talking about me?
He smiled sheepishly. Of course I am. I really think you're great. Meanwhile, I shifted my attention to our surroundings. Look at all these women staring at Kaguya.
Daggers.
I think I just heard someone say, "Check out that hottie." As I returned my gaze to Kaguya's perfect face, he blinked at me curiously. Oh, it's nothing. I turned back to the road ahead of us and came face to face with a young woman. Her surprise quickly shifted to fury, and she stormed right up to us. One look at the glare in her eyes, and I could already tell what was about to happen. She wasn't glaring at me. She was glaring at Kaguya.
Oh, here we go.
Do you know her, Kaguya? Despite our impending doom, I forced my tone to stay level. Under pressure from the woman's glare, and my question, Kaguya faltered and started to laugh nervously.
どちらさんでしたっけ？
Who are you again?
最
Screw you!
The next thing I heard was an airy slap. Kaguya, are you okay?
大丈夫や。
I'm alright.
Judging from the sound of his voice, he was anything but.
あなた彼の何
And who the hell are you?
Me? Well, I'm his girlfriend, I suppose.
私も彼の彼
Oh,
女なんだよ、
yeah? Well, so am I. We're fighting now, Sakyu.
I smiled stiffly. This was exactly what I've been afraid of. I see. So I take it you're mad because he's cheating on you?
はあ何で
Excuse
手ぶってん
me?
の
How does this not phase you?
Her anger was perfectly reasonable, of course.
ねえどういうこと
Now tell me what the hell is going on
私
here.
と付き合って
I
んのに
demand an
この女とも付き合
explanation.
ったって
Are
いう
you
わ
seriously
け
dating other women behind my back?
それともこの女と
Or
付き合って
I
るのに
the
私
other
とも
women
付き合
in
っ
this
たの
equation?
ああ、一応
No,
君
I
の方が
think you were
先に付き合
first.
ってたという
Just
か
for the record.
Kaguya, dear. You think?
Damn.
何それ
What do you mean,
意味わ
just
か
for
ん
the
ない
record?
私
What is
とこの
wrong
女
with you?
どっちが
Who
本
do you
命な
actually
の
want? Me or her?
Your dad. I don't know.
それは
Well...
Kaguya glanced at each of us in turn.
彼女
do. Rake you, I reckon. I mean, she didn't hit me this time.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Flushed with rage, the woman raised her hand to strike once more. Wait, please. I grabbed her arm.
何よ
The hell do you want?
I won't deny it. What is done is despicable and more than worthy of your retribution.
We'll let him smite him.
But I'm partially at fault here myself. The fact of the matter is, unbeknownst to either of us, I stole him from you. I paused to take a breath. So, if you're going to hit someone, hit me instead.
は
Okay.
あ何イコちゃんぶってんの
I
あ
beg
な
your
たは
pardon?
人の彼氏に
What,
手
you
を出
think
し
you're
たん
some
だよ
goody two-shoes? You're a homewrecker!
You're absolutely right, which is why I ought to be held accountable. So go ahead, hit me.
Rake you.
I relinquished my grip on her arm, closed my eyes, and gritted my teeth to brace myself for impact. But that impact never came. No Genshin impact in these parts.
ああ、めっちゃ気持ちええわ。
That feels lovely.
Hmm.
Wait, what? Where are we?
A bedroom.
Fuck.
Y'all, did you skip some more steps already?
What?
Kaguya sighed peacefully as he pressed an ice pack to his inflamed
Oh,
cheek.
I see. I was
Okay.
I was waiting for when Kaguya would step in between the punch, and apparently he did.
Yeah. Does it hurt?
ちょっとな。
Oh, just a tinge.
Well, I'm afraid you'll just have to suck it up, considering what you did to her. You got off easy.
せやな。
Yeah.
He smiled stiffly as I fell silent. Then, to break the tension, he glanced around.
喫茶店の上の階
So,
はこないに
This
なっ
is
と
what
るん
the
や
second
な。
floor of the cafe looks like then.
Yep. I worked down on the first floor and rented a room up here on the second.
That also sounds familiar.
Yeah. After the scandal, I brought Kaguya to my room. We've been together for less than a day, and I've already brought him home with me. My grandmother would faint.
僕、寮に上がってもよかった
Sure you're comfortable having me in here?
Just so we're clear, I don't do this with all the guys. You're a special exception.
Yeah, you got
Well, you
punched
do
3
have
times in
one.
the same day.
Yeah.
Because I'm your boyfriend?
I prodded his cheek with my index finger. Because you're injured. Frankly, you were lucky she was willing to have mercy on you, because she was entirely in the right.
Oh yeah, fuck him up.
Yeah. That said, I knew all along she wasn't going to take me up on my offer. Her first slap had already drawn a considerable amount of attention. If she went on to strike the sweet and innocent other woman, she would have caused even more of a scene.
分かってます。
No,
浮気した僕が
I
悪い
know.
なって。
It's what I deserve for cheating on her.
He slumped his shoulders. Darn right.
Damn straight.
I pulled the ice pack away from his face, then cleared my throat. Okay, I promise I won't get mad, so please just be honest with me.
How many? What is it?
How many other girlfriends do you have?
怒ってないん
32. You really won't be pissed off?
At this point, I don't have the energy for it. That's fair.
呆れとる。
Because you're annoyed with me?
Zuboshi! Bingo.
No shit.
それは悪いことしたな。
Well, now I feel bad.
Good. This isn't funny, Kaguya. I put my hands on my hips.
Do you really want to know about his past love affairs?
I feel like we have to, otherwise we won't actually
Yes.
go anywhere.
Yes.
So, how many of us are there?
Oh, well, we gotta hold him accountable, like we do with Cinderella.
Mm-hmm.
3人くらい
3
Just
million?
I don't buy that for a second. Closer to 30, am I right? I smiled sardonically.
10倍はいい
No,
やん
no! 30 would be pushing it.
Look, I don't care how many people you've been with in the past. I just want to check.
はい
Yeah?
You have romantic feelings for me, yes?
も
I
ち
think
ろ
he
ん
has romantic feelings for everyone.
Yeah.
Of course I do.
Am I the only girl you're currently seeing?
Yeah, yes, you are.
I hope he knows that we're not asking the scope of who we can see in the physical room.
I mean, he might.
Okay then.
もうええの
Is that all?
Yeah.
Huh.
He stared at me, slack-jawed. What's the matter?
てっきり自分
I was
にも
pretty
振ら
sure
れ
you
た
were
と思
about
って
to
てん
break
けど
things off with me.
Do you want me to?
ちゃうねんそうやな
No,
くて
no, not at all. I just.
I know. I exhaled slightly.
No, that's how we get a bad ending.
I am curious why we already did get one.
I mean, realistically, yeah, break it off. Fuck. I don't need a guy with this much baggage.
If we get a bad ending, we can come back, it's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
But you have a point. I don't know if I can keep dating you, and I kind of want to see the wizard again.
やんな
Right.
I'm sorry.
ええでええで
No,
謝るの
it's
は
quite
僕の方
alright.
や
I'm the one who should
ほんま
apologize.
小さ
I
には
didn't
悪い
treat
こ
you
とした
right,
と思ってま
Poppin.
す
Hmm.
そないな顔せんといとって
Wipe that frown off your face,
悪いのは
sweetheart.
僕なんや
You've done nothing wrong.
僕行くわ
But I
振ら
better
れ
be
た男
going.
がいつま
Now
で
we're
も女の
through.
子の
I
部屋におっ
mustn't
た
wear
ら
out my
あかんし
welcome.
な手当てしてくれて大きいな
Thanks for patching me up and
短
all
い間
that.
やけど
Our time
自
together
分
was
みたいな
short.
こと付き合え
I
て嬉しかっ
enjoyed
た
every minute.
さいなら
Right then. I reckon this is farewell.
With one final smile, he turned and left the room.
Meanwhile, in the hallway.
After he left, I just sat there and stared down at the table. My lunch break was over, and I needed to hurry back to work so I wouldn't leave anyone hanging. But I was too emotionally exhausted to move. Why did I feel so drained, though? Was it because of all the drama? Was I merely disappointed with the way things turned out? We'd only just met, so I had a lingering attachment to him. So why did I regret what I said? Why did I feel like I was wrong about him? Just then. A cat?
Wizard!
Wait, what? I don't remember leaving the window open. Where did you come from, little cat? Did you just spawn in here with magic?
さあ、どこでしょう。
Where indeed?
Fucking wizard, man.
Who's there?
Casting spells.
怖がらないでくださ
Relax.
い。
Do not be frightened.
はじめま
It's
して
nice to
お嬢
meet
さん。
you, young lady.
俺は
I
魔
am
法
the
使いと言い
wizard.
ます。
Do you think he ever gets tired of introducing himself?
I don't get tired of introducing him, so probably not.
I mean, when you have an awesome title like The Wizard,
Yeah.
it's not like Bob from accounting, it's The Wizard.
Yep. You're the wizard?
付き合っていた人
So, you found out your boyfriend was
す
seeing
でに
another
付き合っている
woman.
恋人がいました。ひどい
A
裏切り
terrible
です
betrayal, isn't it?
ですが、
But a
それ
betrayal
は
of
誰にとってひ
whom?
どい裏切りだったのでしょう。君は彼に
You
彼女が
didn't
い
know
たことを
he
知ら
was
なかっ
with
た。
her. She didn't know
彼
he
女は
was with
君という
you.
新しい恋人がいたことを知らなかった。
I don't think he knew where he was.
Yeah.
彼女もまた彼に
Indeed, it
裏
was
切
he
られ
who betrayed both of you. It is his fault then.
た。
Since he
悪いのは
left you in the
全てを
dark.
知っていた彼なのでしょ
Oh,
うか。
is it his fault then? Since he... Yes, it is, actually, wizard.
Absolutely. Like,
で
damn.
すが、もし
Well, riddle me this. What if he
もしも
was in the
彼も
dark too?
事実を知らなかった
What?
としたら
How?
I mean, the ID would be a good reason, but...
Oh.
Are you saying it could have been an accident?
I mean, it could have been one of those TikTok jokes. Which is like a borderline criminal
そういう
offense.
ことです
Yes, precisely.
知らず知らずのうちに
If it is a
人を
crime
傷
to
つけてい
hurt
たこと
someone
が罪だという
unknowingly, then all of you are guilty,
知
are
らな
you
かった
not?
者たちにも
We're gonna find out there's like an army of Kaguas running around the town romanticizing women, and then like they all just like meet up at a Kaguya convention. They're all just swapping stories of all their girlfriends.
Yeah. I mean, I guess like another option is that he somehow doesn't know it's wrong, but I don't think that's what is being alluded
No,
to
I think it's more like I think it's going more the route that you were saying, where he either has like DID or like he forgets everything,
Yeah, some like traumatic brain injury or something that makes his memory
or
not
like
work
when he
well.
sees a pretty girl, he just forgets the rest of the world exists and he talks to her and asks her out. Like
Yeah, there's definitely something up.
there's something going on. Anyway,
Yeah.
真実は
Unfortunately.
we know he's a little off kilter.
なぜなら
Yeah.
彼は
Unfortunately,
君
we
の
will
ことを
never know
捨
the
ててし
truth.
まったから
Why? Because he has left you.
物語
The story has met an untimely
終わって
end,
しまったん
young
です
lady.
よ
Wizard.
Wizard.
Wizard. Ah, yes, I'm the wizard. Wizard? No. The wizard.
Anyway, it's not pretty.
That loading save sound effect.
Yeah.
What is it?
I don't know how to describe it.
Sounds so weird.
He asked if you have feelings for me, and if I'm the only one you're seeing, and you said yes to both. So, I'll let it go.
You're such a good girl.
I stared hard at Kaguya, my brow furrowed. What, because my decision was convenient for you? That's not how being good works.
That's fair.
It's like a pad and a meso chimes playing at the same time. Yeah, something like that. Anyway, if I leave you to your own devices, there's no telling when someone will beat you black and blue. Just stay here until things settle down, alright?
We're gonna find out Kaguya has an evil twin. A Yugak. Alright.
Hmm.
I see.
Ne.
So, how's he doing?
If we let him outside, he'll get even more swollen faces from all the girls that want to punch him in the face. So, for his own health and safety, we locked him inside the cafe.
Put him in a birdcage.
Yep, exactly. Hey, wait a minute.
He insists it's fine, but as far as I can tell, he might still have some residual swelling tomorrow.
自業自
Serves
得
him
だな
right.
Damn straight.
After I returned to work, I explained the situation to Cinderella, who snickered.
言った通り
What
だ
did I
った
tell
ろ
you? It's got
あ
all
い
the
つは
girls on
女を取っ
rotation.
替え引っ換えしてるって
There's nothing wrong with polyamory as long as everyone consents.
True though.
Based. But that's not what's happening here, right?
Yeah.
されてたん
But
だろ
you didn't consent, right? Right. Well, technically I was more of a villain than a victim in this scenario, but...
悪いことは
Look,
言わ
I'm
ね
not trying to be a dick,
傷つかな
but
い
you
うちに
seriously need to
別れ
break
ちま
up
え
with
よ
this dude before you get hurt. But then the
We
wizard
tried
tells
that. The
us we
wizard told
fucked
us-
up.
Yeah, we tried that. The wizard told us we fucked up.
Sorry, Cinderella. If my grandmother had wheels, she'd be a bicycle. Ugh.
俺
Am I wrong here?
なんか間違ってること言ってるか
No, I'd say that's the conclusion most people would come to.
なんだそれ
What's that supposed to
あん
mean?
たは
You
浮気され
want
ても
him
いい
to
って
cheat
の
on
か
you
よ
or something?
Yeah, it's called a fetish.
Not especially. It's not that I approve of his infidelity. I just don't know him that well. That's why I'm not hung up on it. Long story short, I'm just not emotionally invested yet.
そりゃあんな
Of
唐突
course
に
not.
付き合えばそうな
Relationships
るだ
had
ろ
absolutely zero build-up.
Jealous fucker.
I wouldn't mind holding his hand again, but...
I wouldn't either.
Tell me, Cinderella, what is infidelity to you? She's just gonna pull out a dictionary, smack us over the head, and just tell us to look it up ourselves.
は
Rick, you learned 7 new words because of that.
あっていうくらいだから浮ついた気持ちであっちこ
Well,
っちに
if
フ
you
ラ
go
フラ
by
す
the
るって
Latin, it
ことじゃ
means
ねえ
lack
の
of faith. I see it as floating around, not tying yourself down or being faithful to anything. Interesting. Then wouldn't that apply to you, since you're always out wandering around when you should be working?
Damn.
俺を
Don't
あんな
compare
の
me
と
to
一緒
him.
にすんな
Work infidelity, let's fucking go.
Ouch! He smacked me over the head. You're such a hypocrite, you know that?
このへりくつ
At
娘
least I'm not as pedantic
無駄
as
話
you.
してる暇あった
If you
ら
have time to run your
Dude,
mouth,
任せ
go find something to clean. Okay. And so I went back to work.
Ah, Hi-san. Okaeri.
Oh, welcome back, Poppet.
I'm all done with work. When I returned to my room, Kaguya greeted me with a smile.
仕事どないやった
How'd it go? I
Tada,
reckon you
Mondaka.
must be tired. Care for a massage?
He slid an arm around my waist and guided me to the center of the room, where he sat me down and rubbed my shoulders.
お客さん、肩凝っ
Oh
てますな
dear. I'm sensing a lot of tension, madam.
足とかも
I bet your
相当
feet
むくん
must
でる
be
んとちゃいます
swollen
か
too.
Oh, but they are, sir. I have to be on my feet all day at work, so I massage them myself every day.
僕、足のマッサージも得意なんです
Lucky for you, I'm quite good
今
at
なら
foot
サービス
massages
で
as
なんと
well.
ただ
I'll throw it in as an added service, free of charge. How about it?
No thanks.
え
Ah,
それは残念やな
that's a shame.
For me or for you?
も
Both.
ちろん僕が
For me, of course.
Thanks for the offer. I gently moved his hands away from my shoulders. I need to change out of my uniform, so could I ask you to leave? I gestured to the door.
うんわかった
Okay then. Off I go. Leaves the door open a crack.
He left the room without complaint.
I mean, why would he?
Yeah.
He's basically a whipped dog at this point. I mean, not a whipped dog, but, you know,
Yeah.
puppy.
Puppy. I made sure the door was firmly shut, then locked it for good measure. Good.
Smart.
Phew. Heaving a sigh, I grabbed some loungewear from my closet. It was so quiet and peaceful. You never knew when anyone was in here just moments earlier. As I stripped off my uniform, I thought about Kaguya. What did he do in here while I was gone?
Oh, just stole all of your underwear.
Oh dear.
I mean, we talked about it. He talked about it earlier, right?
No?
He goes through like pairs of underwear, you know?
Oh, that was Cinderella.
I know.
I brought him tea and snacks during my last break, but he didn't seem to have touched them. I didn't notice anything out of place either. Did he just sit there and twiddle his thumbs the whole time? He seems like the type to.
I wonder if the multiple Kaguya thing is technically correct.
We'll find
Because
out.
like I'm starting to get like maybe he's just like a clockwork doll or something.
Maybe.
And he's just like, I want to be the perfect boyfriend for as many people out there. And then there's just a bunch of Kaguyas running around
We'll see.
being boyfriends.
There we go. Once I finished changing, I opened the door. Sorry for the... Wait. What the? There was no one there. Kaguya. I called his name. No response.
No.
He's not trying to play hide and seek with me, is he?
He took the panties and ran.
I cast my eyes all around the hallway. Was he going to jump out and scare me as a prank?
何やってんだ
What are you doing? Just then, Cinderella came up the stairs. Hey, have you seen Kaguya?
あいつだったらヘ
Sure
ラヘラ
did.
笑いな
He
がら
waltzed right on
出
out
て行っ
with
た
a
ぞ
stupid smirk on his face. Okay, great. Thank you.
He heard get out. He's like, oh, I know what to do. And then just walks out of the building.
I pulled it down the staircase at the speed of light. The winter sun was quick to set, and the darker twilight was settling in. Gasp, wheeze. Cutting through the crowds of people on the way home, I finally tracked him down. Kaguya! Fortunately for me, his strange attire made him stand out like a sore thumb. The second I laid eyes on him, I shouted and waved. But the next instant, I stopped short and lowered my hand. He was smiling and chatting with a woman I didn't recognize.
Hmm?
When he spotted me, he raised his eyebrows in surprise.
どないしたん
What's the matter?
I should ask you the same thing. You disappeared on me.
着替えるなら出てき言うた
You
や
told me to leave so you could change.
I didn't mean literally. I just wanted you to stand in the hall until I was done.
そうなん
Oh, really?
つい勘違いしてもうたわ
Whoops. It appears I jumped the gun. I told you. He heard get out. He's like, I know what to do.
Yeah. God damn.
Force it at it.
I glanced at the pretty lady standing next to him.
So who's your friend? Let's not ask him about the other woman. We don't care.
Yeah, like we could hazard a guess.
Yeah, we can hazard a guess.
ちなみに彼女な
Oh,
道に迷っ
and
てた
this
んやっ
nice lady
て
was just asking you for directions. Oh, cool. He offered that information up voluntarily. Let's go.
So, you were helping her?
せや
Indeed, I
びっくり
was.
したやろ
And what do you know?
話しか
You
けた
struck
ら
up
こんな喋り
conversation
の
right
やつで
here on the spot.
Kaguya gave the woman a grin, like, am I right? And she smiled vaguely in response.
I don't know. I don't think she was just asking for directions, but okay.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure this lady was just looking for an excuse to talk to him. Ahem. So, where are you trying to go? For politeness' sake, I donned a smile. Fortunately, her destination was a popular tourist location. I gave her directions and she quickly headed off. Take care.
ほな気ぃつけてな
Be safe out there, yeah?
With a final wave to the woman, I turned back to Kaguya.
ん
The fuck was that? Hmm?
そういや、ひいさんは僕を探してくれはったんっ
Alright.
け。
So why'd you come
僕
find
に
me,
なんか用が
Poppet?
あるん？
Did you need something?
At first I thought it was a stupid question, but then I realized it wasn't. Did I need something? Well, no. No, I didn't. I was just... You disappeared, so I got worried.
すんません。
Ah, sorry about that.
He inclined his head politely, then glanced up to the skies.
Beep boop beep boop beep beep boop boop beep 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 beep.
The inky canvas above us was studded with little pinpricks of light.
もうすっかり夜や
It's
な。
gotten late, hasn't it?
It sure has.
いいさん。
Poppet.
What is it, Kaguya? He stooped down until he was at my eye level, then stroked my hair.
女の子が一人でこんな
A
夜
young
に
woman
出
like
歩い
you
たらあかん
shouldn't be
で。
wandering the streets alone.
送ったるから。
Let me walk you home.
It's not that late. Early evening at worst.
せやけど、ひいさん
Maybe
こんなに
so.
可愛いんや
You're
から。
so sweet and lovely.
どっかの悪い
Who knows what
男
sort
から
of
ナンパされるかもしれん
ill-intentioned
よ。
chap might come along and try to steal your heart? This guy.
You mean like you?
Damn!
僕みたいに。
Yep, just like me.
ほな、手つなごう。
Now, let's hold hands, shall we?
So lewd.
There's so much hand holding.
Yeah. Sure.
Not only did she call him on it, he also admitted it.
Yeah.
So...
Do you have plans after this, Kaguya? Do you have to get home by a certain time? With a smile, he proceeded to drop the biggest bombshell yet. I'm gonna guess he doesn't have a home.
I'm gonna guess he was raised by aliens.
そんなんあらへんよ。
Oh,
僕、宿なしや
nothing of
し。
the sort. I'm homeless after all.
That was right. Let's go.
Hmm.
信じらん
You
ね
have
え。
got to be kidding me. Cinderella does not get paid enough for this shit.
Cinderella does not get paid enough for this. Careful, his name is Kaga. Oh, I know, Spooky. That's why I'm making all these space jokes.
I couldn't just leave Kaguya out on the street, so for the time being, I brought him back to the cafe for dinner. When I explained the situation to my dear landlord, unsurprisingly, he was less than amused.
So your homeless
いいか
boyfriend.
犬
He's
猫じゃ
not
な
a
いんだ
pet,
ぞ。
okay? He's
人
a whole
間
ass
だぞ
human
人間。
being.
し
And
か
a
も
guy.
男。
I know. As I got dinner ready, Cinderella breathed down my neck.
連れてきてどうす
Why
んだ
the
よ
hell would you bring him here anyway?
まさか
You don't seriously plan to
一緒に住む
move
気じゃ
him
ねえ
in
だろう
with you,
な。
do you? Because that's not
ここは
allowed.
同棲禁止だぞ。
Yeah, no tenants dating.
Since when?
今俺が
Since
決
now.
めた。
Don't even try to imply you and I are cohabitating, because that crap won't fly with
たま
me.
んねえからな。
Yeah, because we're not trying to shack up with each other.
Yeah, not this time.
Not this time.
I really didn't want this conversation with my boss to get too personal, so instead I laughed awkwardly. To be fair, I do think it would be unreasonable to move in with my new boyfriend on day one of our relationship. Feels like it's skipping a few too many steps.
んじゃ。
Oh, Cinderella's
飯食わせたら放
sharp.
置すんのか
Yeah.
Yeah, and he doesn't have time for Reiki's nonsense either.
So, are we tossing him out after dinner? That strikes me as kind of inhumane. He is my boyfriend after all.
恋人っていう
Seems
か
more like a mooch at this
このままだ
point.
紐確定だけどね
Mooch, as in a deadbeat loser who leeches off his girlfriend's money.
I mean, he bought us lunch earlier, but that doesn't mean shit, so...
Yeah. He fell silent.
So he has money, he just doesn't have a house.
Yeah.
Probably not a lot of money either, but... Especially if he has so many girlfriends he keeps spending money on.
Maybe he has so many girlfriends so that way he has a place to sleep at night.
Maybe.
Meanwhile, I put the food on the serving plate and handed it to Cinderella. Dinner's ready. Take it to the table, would you?
俺を
I'm
使う
not
な
your
よ
servant. It's not like you have anything better to do. Ouch!
Damn.
He pinched my cheeks. Hard. Look at your stupid face. Fine, whatever. Just for you, I'll...
いいさん、僕が
I'll
運ん
carry
だ
it,
で。
Poppet.
Just then, Kaguya turned up in the nick of time and snatched the serving plate away. Kaguya, you're a guest here. Just wait at the table like I said. Is he still pulling her cheeks?
Yeah,
Excellent.
completely.
Cinderella continued to stretch my face out. I tried to protest, but as you can imagine, it was less than convincing.
そうなんやけどな。
Yes, I
や
do
っ
get
ぱ
that.
何も
I
せん
just
でええっちゅう
feel
の
the
は
need to contribute is all.
おい
Hey, you.
ん僕ですか
Who? Me?
そうだよ
Yes, you. Got
あ
any
んた
money?
は金あんのかよ
Cinderella, that's so rude. I smacked him.
代わりに
As
聞い
if
て
you
やっ
weren't
てん
going to
じゃねえ
ask
か
him the same thing yourself.
金
Money. Let's see.
Me too. He pulled a wallet from his sleeve and emptied its contents into the palm of his hand.
これしか持ってへんわ。
This is all I've got.
What is that? Like $10?
おめでとう
Congratulations. You got yourself a mooch. Cinderella smirked and clapped me on the shoulder. Wait, what? If you're broke, then why did you pay for my lunch? Great, now I'm asking him rude questions. Granted, I had no idea, but still, I never should have let him buy me all that food.
I mean, to be fair, we did split our meal with him, so.
せやな
Yeah.
Oh, right. That.
He casually evaded my question. But I stood there, panicking eternally. It was Cinderella who put the final nail in the coffin.
お前
Wow,
こ
you
んな
made this
金ない
broke
やつに
loser pay
払
for
わせた
you?
のかよ
You're a
鬼
monster.
だな
Freaking just came across this Hard Times article titled, I can fix him, says woman who is worse.
Wait, is the Hard Times like a parody newspaper or something like that?
I don't know. That's funny.
Because I feel like you would love The Onion. Spooky, if you have not heard of The Onion, first of all, how? Second, go look up articles right now. It's really funny.
I'll pay you back, okay? I'll pay you back. Right now. I immediately made to run to my room and grab my wallet. But Kaguya seized me by the shoulder to stop me.
ああ、ええって。
Nah,
僕
it's
は
so right.
自分の彼氏な
I'm
んや
your
から
boyfriend, so it's
僕
only
は
natural I
させてほしい
paid.
っちゅうか
I see. That makes sense.
Ah, okay.
But,
いいじゃねえか
it's
男
fine.
を立
Let him
てて
feel
やれ
good
よ
about it, will you?
Yeah, let him feel good about being broke ass.
With that, Cinderella walked past Kaguya to the dinner table. Meanwhile, Kaguya smiled at me awkwardly. Thank you. I'm so sorry I didn't realize.
いやいや、ほんま気に
No,
せんでええから
no. It's no problem, really.
僕の方こそ
Money's just an
頑張ってて
object, you know? If anything, I'm sorry I kept quiet about it.
No, it's fine.
これテーブルに
Shall I
持って
take
った
this
ら
to
え
the
え
table
な
then?
Yes, please. With a bright smile, Kaguya set about accomplishing the task I requested of him. Perhaps he was more level-headed and responsible than his looks would suggest.
Eh,
You know, ignoring all the money problems and lady problems.
I don't know. Those are two big problems to
hold on.
ignore.
Yeah, they are.
おい
Oh, that reminds me. Hey. What is it? I stopped what I was doing and looked over.
2階に新しい
We
住
got
人
a
が
new
来たか
tenant
ら
on the second
そ
floor.
いつに飯
Take
持
some
ってっ
food
て
up
や
to
れ
him, would you? Is it Alice?
You ready? You ready for your boy?
Yes.
Because I'm pretty sure it's Alice.
It better be Alice, or I'm throwing a strike.
Or it's Kaguya and he's playing coy.
But Kaguya is still downstairs with them.
I know. I know.
I never imagined Cinderella would let someone new move in. According to him, the tenant was a guy named Alice. Let's go.
Huh. Weird. It better be Alice all my life.
Knowing Cinderella and his proclivities, I was expecting some lucky blonde, but evidently not. Alice, dinner's ready.
We're gonna get breaking the door part 2.
Probably. Hello, Alice. Sorry to bother you. Are you in there? I tried knocking and shouting, but no one appeared. Hello, Alice. It's me, Arisu from next door.
I know you're in there.
I pounded my fist on the door. He's not answering. I'll just leave it here, okay? I couldn't find anywhere to set the food, so instead I dragged the small side table out from inside my room and used that. There. Perfect. Damn, no Alice right now.
Too bad.
I returned to the first floor to find Cinderella and Kaguya waiting for me at the dinner table.
Okaeri.
Welcome back.
おせ
Took you long enough. Evidently, they'd chosen to wait until I returned before tucking into their supper. Sorry about that. Now, let's eat.
Alice, still causing problems, especially around dinner time.
Yep. I hurried to my usual seat beside Cinderella and reached for my fork. Likewise, Kaguya did the same.
いただきます.
Rub-a-dub-dub. Thanks for the grub.
Alright. And so we partook of our meal.
Wait, they said it together.
Yeah,
Wait, what?
I'm ignoring that. We're gonna just move
Okay.
on with life.
Okay. No, I was just saying, like, they both had the same phrase, which is weird.
Yeah. Yeah, they both said it together. That I don't know, man. Wild.
Are they gonna acknowledge that, or just...
Probably not. They just said itadakimasu. Why was that the translation by? I don't know, man. I don't know.
Oh, they said itadakimasu.
Itadakimasu.
Okay, that makes sense then. But
Mhm.
like,
But normally that, like, a better translation for that is, like, let's
thanks for the
eat,
meal.
or something like that, yeah.
Yeah,
Anyways,
or like bless this meal or something.
yeah. I say we, but I was so curious to see Kaguya's reaction to my cooking, I could scarcely eat a bite myself. Took a bite of the basil rice.
Fucking aw man would make more sense.
めっちゃ美味しい
True.
な
Wow, this is excellent.
You mean it?
ほんまほんま
Of course.
初めて食べた
I've
けど
never had any of this
俺もいけ
stuff
るで
before, but it's wonderful.
Tonight we were having Asian cuisine, basil rice, mizuna, and tofu salad, Asian style veggie soup, and almond jelly for dessert. As Kaguya ate cheerfully, Cinderella sat there sulking.
そういや兄ちゃんはここの家主さんやんな
So tell me,
こんな
you
毎
own
日
this
食べれ
place,
る兄ちゃん
yeah?
は幸せやな
Mate, you must be chuffed to bits eating this great food every night. It's okay.
誰が兄
I'm
ちゃん
not your mate, pal.
I'm not your pal, buddy.
ほんならシンデレラさんでいいかな
Shall I call you Cindy then?
笑い
Not
事じゃね
funny.
I'm pretty sure he's dated a Cindy.
Maybe.
えてか
So,
お前
what's
こ
your
れ
next
から
move after
どう
this?
するつもりなんだ
Back on
よ
the streets.
お
Huh?
金もない
How the hell have you
泊まるところ
survived all
も
this
ない
time if you're broke
そん
and
なんで
homeless?
今まで
With
どう
my
や
moneymaker.
Good question.
Gestures to his face.
どんなかな
I ask myself that question every day.
But Kaguya simply shrugged it off.
どうせ
I bet
声
you've
かけ
been
てきた
couch surfing
女の
with
と
all
ころに
those
転
women
が
you
り
sleep
込んで
with,
たんだ
right?
ろ
I was starting to lose my patience. Cinderella, why don't we just hire him to work here? Saw them coming a mile
言うと
away.
思った
Yeah, that's fair. I saw that coming too, not gonna lie. Cinderella let out a big, exaggerated sigh. That's my Cinderella. You're always one step ahead of me. Saves me so much time.
褒めてねえ
Your
よ
ass kicking's not gonna work
そ
on
の
me.
猫なで声
Or
やめ
kissing.
ろ鳥肌
And
が
quit doing
立つ
that goo goo baby voice. Creeps me the hell out.
怒ったら
No, no. No fighting.
そのようなことをせんでも
I won't
僕は
impose on
こ
you
れ
too
食べたら出て
terribly.
いきますんで
Once I've eaten, I'll be off.
夕飯代もここに
I'll leave the money on the table for you.
あ
Oh,
これ
wait.
で足りる
Is this gonna be enough?
I'll keep the $10 and change from earlier. But that's the only money you have.
まあそうやな
Right. Yeah.
You could just hand over your last dime.
せやけどただっちゅう
Well,
わ
I
けには
can't
いかんよ
rightly leave without paying, now can I?
Sure you can. I brought you here as my dinner guest, not my customer.
のに
Oh, that's alright.
No, it isn't. Besides, this meal didn't cost that much to make. We won't accept your money. Right, Cinderella?
Cinderella, meanwhile,
Oh.
pocketing the $10.
What she said, I guess. At this, Kaguya bowed politely.
おおきにご
Cheers. This really is a lovely meal.
Was it a sigh of relief or a sigh of annoyance? I couldn't tell you.
Both.
Yeah,
どうなんだ
so, what's the
ここを
plan?
出てい
Where
く
will you
っ
go
たって
after you leave here?
あんたはそっ
Gonna
か
find
らど
yourself
うする
another
つも
one
り
night
だ
stand?
Serious questions, though.
兄ちゃん
Yeah.
怖い顔せんといてやまあええや
Relax
野
me.
宿でも
I
どう
won't
にか
do
なる
anything
や
of the sort. Probably find a nice place outside to settle in for the night.
Outside?
Why not? It's a clear night.
It's also winter.
Details.
I looked at Cinderella,
そうやって
trying to earn sympathy points. I can see it right through you, Mr.
見
Mooch.
えすいた手なんだよ紐
Cinderella, don't be such a jerk.
兄ちゃんは彼女のことが好きなん
Do you fancy Reikyu then?
は
What?
だってそうやろ兄ちゃんが僕に
The reason you're having a go at me is because you're worried for her,
思って
isn't
の
it?
ことや
Revel in the moment, smirk, or deny it. I want to revel in it. What about you?
Yeah, let's revel in it.
あのな
Alright,
俺も
look,
いちいちこ
I'm
う
not
い
gonna
うボケ
entertain
に
your
付き合う
every
気なんてない
charade,
が
but since I'm a
あえ
nice
て
guy,
突っ
I'll
込ん
play
でやる
along just
あり
this
がたく思
once.
えよどうし
Where
た
the
そ
hell
んな
did you
風に
get
見えん
that
だよ
idea? Where?
せやけど自分ら夫婦みたいやで
Because you two act like
さ
an
っきも
old married
晩ご飯
couple.
作ってる最
You
中
hover over her the whole time she
ずっと隣におった
cooks.
よ
A married couple?
それってあれか
So you're saying,
俺
what,
が
I
こいつ
seem
に付きまと
possessive
っ
or
てるように見え
something?
たわけか
せやな
Right, you are.
Damn it.
あんたは
Quit staring
さ
at me with
っ
that
きから
creepy
何
smirk on
変
your
な顔して
face.
生還してんだよ
Ouch. I'm not smirking, okay? I'm just enjoying having two guys. Yeah, two hot guys, rather. Thank you, word order.
Hot two guys.
Fight over me. Lord knows I never asked to be this beautiful. It's both a blessing and a curse.
自分の都合で考
Quit
え
stroking
るな
your
よ
ego
この
and
アホ
think
娘
stupid.
否定しろ
He's
よ
your
って
boyfriend.
あ
You
ん
need
た
to
の
deny
彼氏
it.
だろ
Why, though?
He pinched my cheek so hard I nearly dropped my fork. Ow. I'm sorry. I was just joking.
とにかく
Anyway.
Oh, I think I heard the door
俺は
open while they got closed. I think you left.
I did hear a squeak, but it might have been the squeak of like Cinderella's chair from him, like going back in his seat.
Let's see.
What the?
あ
What? God damn it.
I told you he's gone. He fucking left.
Jesus. Kaguya's gone?
I-
早っ
What is he, a ghost?
I mean, I told you I heard the door open. I was like, that was the
Yeah.
door.
Yeah, that's fair.
どこ行きやがった
Take your
My
eyes off
ears
him
are
for
sharp, baby.
yeah. Take your eyes off him for 2 seconds and he vanishes. Man, where the hell did he go?
Outside.
The money. Laying on the table was the same $10 from earlier. Kaguya. I heard the front door open and immediately dashed off in the direction of the sound. God damn it.
おっとここまでだぜ
Hold it. This is
Damn
as
it.
far as you go. Who are you? Forget it. It doesn't matter. Please, just get out of my way. I need to stop him.
追いかけても
No
奴は
matter how
戻っ
much
ちゃ
you
来ねえ
chase
と
him,
思うな
he won't come back to you. How would you know that? He's the wizard. Duh.
Keep the
俺は魔法使い
wizard.
だ
Because I'm the wizard, and the wizard knows
こ
all.
のままじゃ
Trust
ど
me,
うにも
babe.
なんねえ
It's
って
over. I love that he said babe. Sorry, but that just doesn't make any sense.
なんでだ
What do you mean?
立派な
I'm the
立派じゃねえ
wizard,
か
so I
魔
know.
法使い
See?
だからわかる
Makes perfect sense. I agree.
Yep.
So you could see the future or something?
That would be a fortune teller, not a
さす
wizard.
がお嬢ちゃんは察しがいい
Your intuition is sharp as ever, little lady. If only you'd caught on a little faster.
人は意識的に
I'm
性
the
を無意
wizard,
識に
baby.
せその大小にしろ
In our daily
常に
lives,
選
we're
択を
constantly
迫られてい
making
るものだ
choices, be it large
お前
or
はその
small,
選択肢を間違えち
consciously
ま
or
った
subconsciously. But you, lady, have made a bad move. A single bad move doesn't normally mean game over.
本当にそうか
Are you sure? I would think we're always one step away from
どう
backing
にもな
ourselves
らない
into a
状態になる
corner.
ことくらい容易にあり得ることだと思うがねいわば
Right now,
お前
you've
は
lost all
守
your
る駒を
chess
失い
pieces and your king is
チェ
in
ックさ
check.
れた状態っつうわけだ
So, I guess they'll turn things around.
だが劣勢
Doesn't
に
change the
変わり
fact
は
that
ね
you're at a huge disadvantage.
お前は常に
Here's my
余裕
advice.
を持って
You must
ゲームを
always
進
keep
行
your
しなけれ
cool
ばな
while
ら
the
ない
game
ん
is
だ
in
よ
session,
ヒロイ
little
ンちゃん
heroine. Why is that?
いつ形勢逆
Because
転さ
the
れるか
tables
わ
could
から
turn
ない
on you at any given moment.
用心に
Can't
越
hurt
し
to
た
be
ことない
too
だろ
careful, you see? That's why we save at every decision.
Yep. And then forget what decisions we fucked up on.
チェックメイト
So there you have it. Checkmate. Yep. Well, I am glad we're seeing a lot of the wizard, though this is a record for how many bad endings we've gotten in like one stream.
Well, to be fair, we were kind of going for it. We were kind of gunning for it this time.
Yeah, you're right,
At
you're
least
right.
at the start.
Okay, so we don't revel in it.
I mean, it was fun though. Deny it.
Yeah.
Cinderella told us the right answer.
Mhm.
Like, damn straight you did.
Yeah. Kaguya,
Hmm?
since you're my boyfriend, I want to be clear with you about this. Cinderella is my boss and nothing more. I did my best to keep my expression neutral. After all, if I came off panicky, my intentions could be misinterpreted.
そうなん
Is that so?
Yep. Right, Cinderella? I turned to Cinderella beside me.
まあな
He was so uninterested in the conversation, he didn't even meet my gaze.
See?
Hmm.
Just like a real boss. He's ignoring me.
Yep. Not that I was hoping he'd be disappointed or anything, but it wasn't a very fun response now, was it?
そうなんや
Right then.
So, back to our earlier conversation. What are your plans for tonight?
どうしたいって
How do you mean?
I'm asking if you really plan to waltz out of here and go sleep on the street.
僕は別にええよ
Sure. Why not?
God, he's so freaking passive. He was a grown man, yet he was apparently incapable of making his own life decisions.
He is a smooth pebble on the waterbed of the river of life.
Yep.
Just letting it all pass right over him.
I want to know what you want to do, Kaguya. Do you want to leave? I knew the conversation might start going around in circles, but I had to ask.
せやな
Well... Yeah, bye.
Hmm.
自分といたいかな
I reckon. I want to be with you.
Looks at Cinderella for permission. There you have it, Cinderella. I want him to have his own room here.
あの
Now
な
listen here. Failing that, he can move into my room with me.
禁止って
I
言った
told you
ろ
that's not allowed. Let's start allowing it. He stared him dead in the eyes.
ダメだ
No. My heart stare shifted to puppy dog eyes.
その
You
手は
want
通
you
用
want his
し
own
ない
house? You want his own room in here? Pay up, girl. 2 rent.
Not gonna work on me, Missy. Wait, really? I was pretty sure you'd fall for it. Pressing a finger to my chin, I tilted my head cutely.
わ
He's
ざ
the
とらしいんだよ
landlord.
As if. Everything about you is so fake. Yeah, I know. Because I'm faking it on purpose. He silently smacked me upside the head. You're not supposed to hit a lady. Clutching my head, I glared up at him.
You're not supposed to hit a lady.
自分がおもろいな。
You lot are so funny.
Yeah, they are.
笑い
This
事
is
じゃ
not
ね
a
え
laughing matter. Cinderella rounded on Kaguya, who immediately stood to attention.
はい。
Right you are.
で
So,
あん
What
た
can
は
you
何
offer
が
me?
できる
Services?
僕は言われれば
Me?
何でも。
I'll do whatever I'm told, really.
料理も
can you cook,
洗濯も
clean, do laundry,
掃除も
run a cafe?
店の手伝いも
もちろん。
Of course I can.
Scowling, Cinderella fell silent. Then, finally,
わかった
fine.
こっ
If
ち
you're
の
willing
言
to
う
do
こと
the
を聞く
work,
な
then
ら
I'll let you stay
あ
for
ん
a
たをしばら
while.
くの間ここに置いてやってもいい
That's
ぞ
fair.
お
I mean-
ー
They did it in a different timeline anyway, so.
Yeah.
Yay!
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 Yay! Everyone wins.
Wow!
Kaguya and I were so surprised at Cinderella's sudden change of heart that we both burst into uproarious applause. I mean,
Oh!
he didn't really have a change of heart. It's just like, you guys just have separate rooms and he pays this way. It's fine.
Exactly.
ただし
But only
条件
if you
付きだ
agree to my terms.
まずは1
First
週
of all,
間
you
の
get
うち
1
に
week too. 1 month.
は
What? 1 week is nowhere near enough time for him to get his act together. He needs a full month.
Fair. That's fair, actually.
Yeah. Hmm. Fine.
まあいい
Whatever.
Look, if I said, hey,
期限は1ヶ
homeless
月と
person,
いう
get
こ
your
と
act
で
together in
いいな
1 week, that's feasibly impossible.
Yeah, like you can't even get a job in 1 week.
Yeah, especially in this day and age. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Not a good paying job in a week, anyway.
Yeah. You can stay for a maximum of 1 month. Got it.
はい。
Got it.
Got it. He shot Kaguya a wink. He blinked back in surprise.
ここに居座ってる間は
While you're staying
家事
here,
も洗
I expect you
濯
to
も
help
掃
with
除
chores as well
も
as
店
running
の
the
仕事も
cafe.
しろよ
Shouldn't be too hard
あ
since you'll
ん
be
たの
splitting
彼
the
女
work
と
with your
分担なら
girlfriend.
楽勝だろ
僕が全部やってもええけど。
Oh, I don't mind doing it all myself.
I can't have that. Then I won't have anything to contribute.
というわけで
Exactly.
分担
So you'll
作業
share the work. As for
ど
who
っちが
does
何や
what,
るか
you can
は
decide
勝
amongst
手に決め
yourselves.
ろ
Fair, I guess.
で最後
Now, lastly, Cinderella glared at each of us in turn.
No
互いの
funny
部屋に
business.
一歩も
Neither of you
入ら
will
な
set a
い
single
こ
foot
と
inside each other's rooms. And so began our not quite cohabitation.
No, that's a fair statement right there. No entering each other's room.
Yeah. If you want to fuck, go to a love hotel.
Exactly. Save up money and not under my roof.
Yep. That night, I stared down at the notebook on my desk. Dear Kaguya, as we head deeper into winter, I am ever grateful for your continued good health. No, I sound like a Jane Austen novel.
They shall kiss in the hallway.
And Alice will complain.
Cinderella, They're kissing in the hallway again. Not that it matters.
I need to sound cute and girly. Then again, if I doodle hearts all over the place, I'll come off as an airhead. Oh, this is so hard.
Are they just gonna write letters to each other and just slip them under the doorway?
Seems like it. I groaned under my breath. It wasn't my first time writing a letter, but this was a bit of a special case. Closing my eyes, I folded my arms in contemplation.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so, Spooky.
Yeah. Okay, got it. I opened my eyes, grabbed my pen, and started writing. Later, I took the notebook with me to Kaguya's room. Inhale. Standing in front of his door, I took a deep breath then. Ooh, cozy fit.
PJs.
Ha! Kaguya popped out of nowhere, startled me so bad I exhaled it all at once. Kaguya, as we head deeper into winter, I am ever grateful for your continued good health. The first thing that came to mind was the start of my Jane Austen letter.
Where did that come from? Anyway, sorry. Didn't mean to startle you.
I quickly looked away, hiding my notebook behind my back. No, it's fine. So, anyway, now that you're gonna be staying here, is there anything I can get for you? Timidly, I looked up at him.
Not really. Cinderella lent me some spare clothes.
I see. Belatedly, I noticed his new outfit. He seemed a bit more put together now compared to when we first met.
Said he bought this a while back. Never had the chance to wear it. Not bad, ain't it? How do I look?
You look great.
Good. Good, right. As thanks for your kind words, I offer you a pat on the head. Pat, pat, pat.
Head pats, let's go.
Head pat, head pat, head pat. Head pat.
Both of you.
Head pat.
Let's go.
Oh yeah, it worked this time.
Yeah. As he patted me, I bit back a derpy grin.
And now, I give you a big hug.
Sure thing. Go for it.
No PDA.
Reflexively, I spread my arms out, and my notebook came into view.
What's that then?
That was intentional.
Yeah, no shit.
As he grinned at me, I slumped my shoulders in resignation. It's a diary.
That I filled in today. Your diary? Am I allowed to see it?
Yes, of course. I handed him the dark brown notebook.
It's just Kaguya all over the place with hearts. Cheers. Let's see. Oh, that's my name.
Scrawled on the front was not just my name, but his as well. I stared back at him wordlessly. He seemed to take the hint, because he opened the notebook and started flipping through. Oh boy. Dear Kaguya.
In English on the side.
Only a little bit as a treat.
No, I mean, like, look at the far right.
Or actually, yeah, no. Because, like, here it's having, like, the konnichiwa instead of... Okay, I see. That's a choice.
Oh.
It's bothering me that it's not line... whatever. Konnichiwa.
I mean, we already knew she was a weeb, so...
Well, I mean, like, just the way that she, like, wrote the English
Yeah,
is...
why is the English sideways?
Yeah, like, if you're gonna write vertically, write everything vertically, not just the Japanese.
I don't know, I kind of prefer it on its side like that, because that way it's at least like, hello, and then you can read the rest of the Japanese normally.
But then you have to, like, turn the... It just doesn't line up, and the okay is also sideways later. Okay, anyways.
The okay this time is later. I didn't realize that. I was like, oh, until you pointed out.
Anyways. Konnichiwa, my name is Reikyu, and as of today, I'm your new girlfriend. Today also happens to be the same day we first met. Normal things.
Yeah, okay.
Most people would probably think we're crazy for doing this, but personally, I don't really care. Is it weird to agree to date someone this quickly? Do you think I'm weird or easy? Because for the record, I don't see you that way at all. I mean it. You're the first boyfriend I've ever had, so it might take me a while to learn the ropes. Oh dear.
Oh, he's gonna break her.
If I do something wrong, or something you don't like, please let me know so I can stop. I like to be as considerate as possible.
He does too, that's the problem.
At this point, you probably realized by now, but this isn't just any diary. It's a letter addressed to you. This is called an exchange diary. Basically, we take turns writing messages to each other in the same notebook. That's cute.
Oh, that's cute though.
Communication is essential to deepening our relationship, but since things will probably be awkward in person, I figured pen and paper might make it easier to open up. So, long story short, I like us to get into the habit of using this exchange diary to write letters to each other. Oh, but obviously, you don't have to if you really don't want to. This is just a suggestion.
Kaguya turns the page, pulls out the pen. What do you want for dinner?
If you have any other ideas, I'm open to hearing them. Considering that we've just moved in together, I'd say we've made a lot of progress, lol. Anyway, I'd like to get to know you in whatever way suits you best. You're my boyfriend after all. I'm a total noob at this, but I'll try my best, okay? Heart. From Reikyu.
I love that she writes her name in Japanese.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Hmm.
We came up with the name Rikyu.
No, I'm pretty sure it's Eureka. It didn't look
Yeah.
like...
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
there's no way it was Rikyu's name.
Yeah. As he started to read it, I was overcome with such embarrassment I had to bury my face in my hands. When he finished, I peeked out at him through the gaps in my fingers.
What's this about? Did you read it?
He might be illiterate.
He might. I don't know. He's like. He might. Fuck.
Well, you see, as I've written in there, you and I only just met, and we barely know each other. So I've been thinking about ways to fix that. I was scared a guy like him would roll his eyes at the concept of an exchange diary, but evidently I was worried for nothing.
Brilliant! This way we can get to know each other, yeah? I've never kept a diary before, so I might be rubbish at it, but I'll give it my best.
He accepted the notebook with a smile.
What do you want for dinner? Hello there, Poppet. Feels weird to be writing this, seeing as we already see each other all day long. This is my first time writing in this exchange diary, and frankly, I'm a bit nervous. Am I supposed to write about the events of each day, or what? Bert, either way, I look forward to getting to know you. Cheers!
Interesting choice to translate that entire last sentence there as just cheers.
I know. I was like, that seems a bit long for just cheers.
Like, let me hear again. I mean, he does say Yoroshiku Nagashimasu, which doesn't have like a good like singular translation because it means a lot of
Oh.
things. But I wouldn't ever think of cheers. But whatever. Carrying on.
Kaguya.
Kaguya?
Dear Kaguya, konnichiwa. You know, if it weren't for the cheers at the end, I'd almost forget you had an accent. It was just a Yoroshiku Onegaishimasu with extra steps, goodness. Still, I know. But at the same time, it's kinda neat. Feel free to write about whatever you want, the day's events, or even just things you haven't had the courage to say out loud. Personally, I plan to write about all sorts of stuff. From
Well, this whole
right
thing
here.
is having a British accent, so cheers it is. Okay.
I still disagree that cheers is not appropriate, but
Cheers!
いいさん、こんにちは。
Hello,
イラス
Poppet.
ト
Your
めっちゃ
little
可愛い
doodle
な。
thing is adorable.
僕も真似して作ってみ
I
たんだ
decided
け
to
ど
draw something myself. What do you think?
Bunny.
Pretty good.
Bunny. I was worried that it was going to be blocked because of me as a bun in the birdcage, but no, it's like perfectly right above. It's all good.
It looks just like you.
No.
文章は関西弁じゃないって当たり前やん。
Of course I don't write in my
本当
accent,
は笑っ
silly.
てる顔
I
が
was
し
just
たかっ
trying
た
to
んだ
draw
が
a smiley guy.
なんか
It
めっ
came
ちゃ
out
変になっ
weird.
た。ごめん。
Sorry about that.
思ってても口に出して言え
It's
ないようなことって
embarrassing to write things we can't even say out loud, isn't it?
いろいろと考えてみましたけど、
I've
まずは
given it
こ
some
こに
thought,
僕の気持
and
ち
I've
を
decided to
打ち明
start
け
by
たいと思います
professing my love.
僕は君のことが
I love you,
好きです。
and nothing has made me happier than spending this time together with you.
君と一緒にいてくれて
Thanks for
ありがとう。
being with me.
Five days had passed since I first met Kaguya. Damn.
What
time's
the
good.
fuck?
Yawn.
Saku, 5 days has passed. Have you known that?
I did read that, yes. Early that morning, I headed down the stairs.
I feel like we just blinked, man.
Yep.
What the fuck?
I mean early, as in 5 a.m. The winter sun was slow to rise, and the sky was still dark. Nevertheless, I could hear the faint stirrings of someone who had somehow started his day ahead of me. Good morning, Kaguya.
おはようさん。
Morning,
今日も
Poppet.
ひいさんは
You're
可愛
looking
いな。
lovely as always.
Thanks. You're looking quite handsome yourself.
おおきに。
Why, thank you.
It wasn't even sunrise, and yet it was already bustling cleaning the cafe. Or busily.
Busily.
I can read so good.
What is reading?
Don't know. Never heard of it. I took a deep breath and forced myself to focus. Say, Kaguya?
ん
Hmm?
You know, I'm on cleaning duty today, right?
ああ、そやな。
Oh, right. Yeah.
So why, pray tell, are you doing my job?
Because he was always gonna do your
ついに
job.
朝早く起きてしもうて。
Sorry. I just couldn't get back to sleep, so...
Well, go try again, right now. I snatched the cleaning cloth away from him.
そやけど。僕
I'm afraid I
こう見え
simply
ても
can't.
朝方の人間
I'm
や
a
しな
morning person, see?
He smiled awkwardly at me. I started to feel guilty for snapping at him. Okay, fine. Go ahead and finish it. I handed the cloth back to him.
おおきに、ひいさん。
Cheers, Poppet!
Honestly, I'm the one who ought to thank you. Look, Kaguya, I understand you want to be helpful, but please don't overwork yourself.
Oh, he's gonna overwork himself.
気ぃつけるわ。
I'll keep it in mind.
After Kaguya moved in, my workload lightened a fair bit. He was quite proactive in cleaning, laundry, and all sorts of other tasks. For the most part, it was great, really. There was just one small problem.
You kept doing your shit.
お株を奪われたな。
I've sure been stealing your thunder, eh? Ugh, shut up. I refuse to admit it. Cinderella smirked as he sliced into a rasher of bacon.
そないなことあらへんって。
Oh, that's nonsense, I promise. You're far more skilled than I am, Poppet. Especially in the kitchen.
Thank you. Today, we were having an authentic English breakfast. Beans on toast, juice, cereal, eggs, bacon, and grilled tomatoes.
I could try
お
it.
前も料理くらい作れるだろ。
like you can cook though, right?
I can cook.
Cinderella glanced up at Kaguya as he stabbed his eggs with a fork.
作れへんってことはないけど。
Well, I reckon I'm not utterly incapable.
Kaguya paused and looked at me. As our eyes met, he cocked his head and smiled.
ひいさんの美味しい手料理。
But I'd rather eat my Poppet's delectable cooking.
I giggled.
あっそ。
Barf.
My thoughts exactly, Cinderella.
Cinderella scowled. Here, Kaguya, let me get the soy sauce for you. Now that I was in a better mood, I felt like doing something nice for him.
おおきに。
Cheers.
俺には。
What about me? Here. I offered him the steak sauce.
そうそう
Is that brown sauce? Oh wait, that's
Is
Kaguya.
Is that brown sauce?
Oh, are you a steak sauce on your eggs person? Here. I promptly handed the bottle to Kaguya instead.
おい。
Hey.
じゃあね。ほんまにそう
No.
なんておんねんなって
No,
思っただけ。
no. I was just surprised anyone would fancy brown sauce on their eggs is all.
I could try it.
Yeah,
I mean, I put hot sauce on my eggs, so.
me too. With a smile, Kaguya passed the steak sauce back to Cinderella.
なんかバカ
Trying
に
to
し
say
て
I'm
ないか。
weird.
してへんしてへん。
No, not at all.
Personally, I prefer my tamago's sunny side up with shoyu on top.
わざわざ
Knock it off with the
英語なんか
gratuitous
使うな。
Japanese, you damn
この
weeb.
外国かぶれ。
A little Japanese never hurt anybody, right, Kaguya?
Stop, stop, he's already confused.
Right you are.
As you can see, our new arrangement was working out pretty well.
Okay, how does this go bad?
We'll find out. After a few days, Cinderella's anti-Kaguya bias faded considerably, and their interactions had grown more friendly.
Well, yeah, he's just a chill dude.
Yeah. As for the cafe, well...
How many smacks per day is he up
いらっ
to?
しゃいませ。
Welcome.
In contrast with his leisurely appearance, Kaguya was actually quite the hard worker, and his friendly personality quickly made him popular with the regulars.
Yeah, no shit.
However...
No, we're with
か
the
ぐや
women.
さん
Kaguya!
なんなんどないしたん
Hmm? What can I do for you?
かぐやちゃんこっちもかま
Kaguya, sweetie! I need you!
もうちょい待ってて
I'd
な。
be right with you.
There was now a critical influx of mostly female customers who visited specifically to see him. Given his good looks, they were willing to dismiss his peculiar clothes as an endearing quirk of his. Plus,
Didn't he get those clothes from Cinderella?
don't worry about it.
I'm just saying.
Don't worry about it. Plus, with his compassion, thoughtfulness, and that cute little mischievous streak he has with it was an instant hint with women of all ages. His popularity was understandable, of course, and a good thing, really. But since he was my boyfriend and all, I couldn't help but worry.
Ooh.
いいさん。注文。
Order in,
入ったで
pop it.
Got it. That said, his popularity directly translated to more profit for us.
True, though.
Phew. After the lunch rush, the customers began to thin out. I had just finished doing the dishes when Kaguya walked in.
Ii-san,
Hi, Poppet.
どないしたん？元気ないの？
What's wrong? You seem out of sorts.
You think so?
見える見える。
It's how you come off, at least.
その原因。
Shall I guess the
だ
reason?
ろうか？
Go for it.
嫉妬？
Are you jealous?
Ding ding ding. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Oh, we're having chicken tonight?
I clap my hands. You're quite a hit with the ladies, huh? The sarcasm wasn't unintentional either. I was testing him to gauge his reaction.
キイさん
Oh,
は可愛いな。
Poppet, you're adorable.
今
I've half a mind to give you a big hug.
However, it didn't have the desired effect. Quite the opposite, actually. Somehow, he knew exactly what to say to play me like a fiddle. You're allowed to hug me, you know. I spread my arms wide.
ほんま？
Am I?
Of course, you're my boyfriend.
じゃあ
Cinderella comes in. No PDA.
Right then.
But just as he reached out to pull me into his arms. Hold it. I took half a step back. On second thought, I'm gonna have to stop you right there. We can't flirt while we're on the clock. It's disrespectful to our customers.
The inner manager.
I was very clearly being a brat to him on purpose. He didn't seem to mind in the slightest. In fact,
じゃあ今度誰もおら
In
んと
that
ころで
case, let's get real flirty the next time no one else is around, yeah?
how he said that with a straight face, I'll never know.
I don't know either.
Yeah. Externally, I remained composed, but internally, I was trying to figure out what he meant by get really flirty.
いやそない警戒せんでも
Relax,
エッチな
Poppet.
ことはせえへ
I'm
んか
not planning to have my way with you.
Keyboard smash.
Keyword smash.
A mangled yelp found its way out of my mouth. Don't laugh.
ごめんごめん。い
I'm
や
sorry,
あ
I'm
の時の
sorry.
キイさん
It was
ほんまおもろか
just
った
such a
わ
hilarious reaction.
This isn't funny. I pouted my lips.
めっちゃ可愛い。
You're so adorable.
That's not gonna work on me, mister.
It worked yesterday.
While on the inside, it was totally working. A lady's heart is complex, you see. After dinner, After dinner, we stepped out for our evening stroll. Evidently, Kaguya's idea of flirty was go on a date.
I mean, that's fair,
寒
honestly.
ない？
Yeah.
You're not cold, are you?
Nope, I'm fine. Nevertheless, Kaguya put his shawl over my shoulders.
我慢せんでええって。
No need to hold back on my account.
言えた
A
らあかんや
delicate
ろ
bird such as yourself ought to stay warm.
What about you?
僕は男の子やし。
I'm a big, strong man, ain't it?
I pressed a hand to his arm. Is this helping?
もうめっちゃ体
Is
中
it
が熱くて
ever?
かなわへんわ。
Burning up like a furnace.
He adjusted his grip on my hand, gently lacing our fingers together. It was the classic boyfriend-girlfriend handhold.
こうした方がもっとあったかくなってええな。
Nice and toasty now.
Yeah. Speed dating. Behind my smile, the words echoed in my mind.
Zoom.
We'd only known each other for a few days, and yet we've already progressed to, well, this. We still didn't know each other all that well. But here we were, holding hands on a date, and living together no less.
How lewd.
Naturally, I could pretend I wasn't attracted to him. He was my boyfriend after all. I loved talking to him, and the mere act of holding hands was enough to set my heart aflutter. Of course, I wasn't about to immediately jump into bed with him, but still, we were doing plenty of other romantic things. The one
Well, at least
thing,
they're going slow on some start stuff.
yeah. The one thing that set our relationship apart was the extremely short time it took to get to this point. In other words, we didn't really have much of a one-sided crush phase. Did that make our romance somehow less valid? No. Like, that doesn't make it less valid.
Yeah, of course. Love is love.
ヒーさんは
Mm-hmm.
なんで僕と付き合っ
As
てくれ
long as
た
both parties can give consent.
Yep.
What made you decide to go out with me, Poppet?
The wizard told me to after I saw him when I wasn't supposed to.
Yeah, the wizard said, why not?
Yeah.
Reset the timeline.
Huh?
ずっと疑問に思ってて
I've been wondering for a while
ヒーさんみたいな可
now.
愛い子が
What would a pretty
どう
girl like
して
you
僕
see
み
in
た
a
いな
guy
子を
like
付き合っ
me?
てくれたんかな
Homeless, $10 and a dime to my name. I got this funny little mask. I don't know where I got it.
It was a good question. Perfect timing, too. I know, right? And we'd only just met, too.
せやね
Yeah.
I fell silent for a moment, then decided to be honest with him. Well, it's because I was curious about you.
会ってそう間もない僕の
Even
こ
though
と
you'd scarcely know me for a few minutes?
Yeah, I'd only known you for a few minutes, and yet I wanted to know more. Just like that, you captured my interest.
せやから
And that's why you agreed to be my girlfriend?
Yeah,
ヒーさんは変わっ
Has
てるって
anyone
言わ
ever
れる
told you you're a bit of an odd duck?
how'd you know? I shot him the finger guns, let's go.
The finger guns are back. Let's fucking go. I've been missing them since like
僕のことを知りたいと
chapter
思って
1.
くれたんか
Yeah.
聞いてもええかな
Can I ask what made you so curious about me?
I will say with the Gretel route, her hands were frequently tied, so...
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, I think she tried the finger guns once, but it was
Yeah.
like she just snapped instead.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know. Cause like, oh, I decided I liked him.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like the top one is the like correct
Yeah,
route.
it definitely seems correct.
Yeah, it's definitely correct coded.
Mm-hmm. I decided I liked him because the wizard told me to.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I taken a liking to you, obviously.
女の子に振られたばかりなの
You
に
took a liking
怒るよう
to
な
a
男や
bloke
で
whose response to getting dumped was to ask you out instead?
Unless you're self-aware, I guess.
So self-awareness didn't stop him.
Yeah.
Is all I'm saying.
Come to think of it, why did she dump you anyway?
Oh, you know, the usual. You really want to know?
Just for future reference.
知ったら
He'll
と
probably
僕のこと
hate
を
me for
嫌い
it,
に
you
なると
know?
思うね
Not bad, huh?
せやな
Yeah.
He smiled sadly. Well, as curious as I am, I suppose it's not directly relevant to the subject at hand, so let's leave it at that. No, I need to know.
I need to know too.
Damn it,
like-
Reikyu.
God damn this bitch. It's gonna become relevant later too. We all know it.
Yeah.
You sound like a university professor.
I wagged my index finger at him. This isn't a one-sided lecture. This is a discussion between equals. The more we communicate, the more we'll come to understand one another. True.
せやな
Right.
Now, back to your question. Why do you think I would take a liking to you, given the circumstances under which we met?
僕がタイプやったん
Maybe I was your type?
Precisely. You're my type.
見た目が
Physically?
Well, yes.
Tall, 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 tall.
んどうしたん
Hmm? What is it?
Does that make me shallow?
いや
Yes.
思てへんや
I
それ
mean,
言うたら
I wouldn't say
僕だっ
that.
て会うたばかりの
If
ヒーさんに
anything,
送ったわけ
I'm
やし
in
な
the same boat since I made a move on a bird I just met. There's other birds besides me, Kaguya.
What about you? Why did you ask me out?
それはもちろん
Because
自分の
you
こと
were my
がタイ
type,
プやって
naturally.
Physically?
Most definitely. Right. That said, I do fancy your personality too.
Even though you barely know me.
Yeah. Being with you is lots of fun. I love talking to you. I reckon your cuteness is more than just skin deep.
After a moment of silence, I burst out laughing. I think I'm starting to understand why people like you. Women especially.
Wait, but you said it yourself, didn't you? I'm kind and always smiling and all that.
There is that, but now I've nailed it down more. A bit more, rather. See, you're really good at reading people's body language. You can tell what people want from you.
She's using the brain cell. Fuck.
That's how you always manage to be so considerate and thoughtful. Granted, on the other side of the coin, you could say he was a people pleaser with a terminal fear of being disliked.
Ding ding ding.
You're quite clever, aren't you, Poppet?
Smarter than I look. I know, I get that a lot.
And honest to boot.
Not always. I can lie when the situation calls for it.
Nothing wrong with that. I quite like that about you.
Thanks. If anything, the real challenge will be staying together. We still barely know each other. All we can do is keep spending time with each other and making memories until eventually we fall in love for real.
So what you're saying is, I'll need to work hard to make you fall for me.
Yep, and the same goes for me.
Hmm?
If I want you to fall in love with me for real, then I'll need to put in the equivalent amount of effort into the relationship.
Oh, I reckon I fancy you a fair bit already.
Well then, I'll just have to make you fall even harder. I shot him a playful wink.
Yeah, I'd quite like to fall head over heels if I'm honest. Say, Poppet.
His voice suddenly shifted down an octave, and he stopped short. Yeah? Likewise, I stopped and turned back to face him. Behind him, I could see a crescent moon hanging in the sky. Ooh, the moon!
Werewolf syndrome.
Alongside the moon, the sky was decorated with a smattering of stars. Feels like it's been a while since I really looked at the moon. Then Kaguya took his mask and put it on my head instead. What was that for? With most of my vision now blocked, I could no longer see the moon, just a sliver of Kaguya. Confused, I flinched back, but since we were holding hands, I wasn't going anywhere. On the contrary, the distance between us was now slowly shrinking. Eventually, all I could see was his face, and then...
A kiss.
On the mask, which is weird, but...
I mean, maybe he was not real for a real kiss on the lips.
I mean, that's true. That's fair.
I let out a depressed sigh. It was evening, and the sky outside the window was draped in twilight. As for the cafe, only one table had any customers. Since there was nothing left for me to take care of in the dining area, I took out the trash and started to clean the kitchen.
Oi.
Hey.
Oi.
I said hey. Ouch.
Hi, Cinderella.
Someone smacked me over the head. I looked up, tears in my eyes. That's not very nice.
What's
got it into you? No idea what you're talking about. This, of course, was a bald-faced lie, but I decided to play dumb regardless. I don't buy that for a minute. You've been acting weird since this morning. Actually, ever since last night.
Oh, you noticed? Cool.
Acting weird? I'm not sure what you mean. I don't recall zoning out or dropping any plates or anything. As far as I could remember, I hadn't made any glaring mistakes at work today.
Yeah, well,
if you did any of that, I would have beat some sense back into you. Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah, fair.
What, like I'm an old TV? That's not gonna fix me.
試して
You
み
want to
るか
try it? No, thank you.
そういうところ
Bops her in the stomach like a
いつも通
jukebox,
り
just
なんだけどな
Well, I'm glad to see at least some part of you is still functioning. He sighed. Likewise, I sighed too. Cinderella, will you pinch my cheeks as hard as you can?
ほら
How's
いいよ
this? Didn't have to ask him twice.
Yeah, don't have to ask him twice. This is what he's made for.
Ow! He stretched my face as far as it would go. You really don't know how to treat a woman gently, do you?
あんたが
You're the
思
one
い
who
っきりっ
told
て
me
言
to
ったん
do
だろ
And, quote, as hard as you can,
Yeah.
end quote.
Yeah, but I didn't mean that hard. I knew he was doing his best to hold back, but still, I would have liked him to be a bit more gentle.
んじゃも
Okay
う
then,
一度や
want me
る
to try again? That's not necessary.
何してはるん
What are you lot doing in here?
Yeah. I was so startled, I dashed around and hid behind Cinderella like a spooked rabbit.
おい
Good grief. What?
何の用だって
She's asking, what do you want? Red-faced and flustered, I could barely get a single word out. Fortunately, I had Cinderella on hand to translate for me.
前に逃げんでもええや
No need to hide, Poppet.
Unable to meet his gaze, I concealed myself behind Cinderella, my mouth opening and closing wordlessly, like a fish. Meanwhile, Kaguya sighed sadly.
お客さんももうすぐ帰りはるみたいやしそろそろ
Seeing as the last
店じまい
customers
始
are
めてもいい
nearly
ですか
finished, is it alright if I start closing up shop?
おう
Sure thing,
頼む
pal.
わ
Gah. Once I made sure Kaguya was gone, I gasped for breath like I'd just come up for air. When I finally raised my head, I found Cinderella staring down at me.
俺が言いたいこ
You
と
already know what I'm about to say,
わかるよな
right? Yeah.
ああせや
Oh, right.
Ah! Hey, wait! What the
な
hell?
んなんだ おい
Look,
お
buddy,
前
did you do something to
あい
her?
つになんかしたろ
Oh?
If the answer is yes, I'm sure Cinderella's gonna beat the shit out of him.
Yes. Puh. I kissed her. Puh. While she had my mask on. Oh, okay.
Like, oh, okay. you're
Wait.
Gasp, wheeze. Before I knew what I was doing, I dashed all the way up to the second floor. Clutching my head, I groaned and whimpered, pacing pointlessly back and forth. From an outsider's perspective, I must have looked ridiculous, but it was all I could do to keep myself from imploding. This was the weirdness Cinderella had picked up on, my behavior around Kaguya. I knew
Oh,
I was
really?
being obvious, blatantly obvious. But after that spectacular night, I just didn't know how to act around him anymore. Whenever I looked at him, my mind flashed back to what happened, and all my composure went right out the window. Obviously, I know I needed to keep my personal life separate from my work, but whenever I let my guard down, well, you saw what happened back there. As for the details of what exactly happened that night, he kissed me through the mask.
Wow.
God damn, very cute.
Alice opens up the door. Shit!
Another vivid flashback shot through my mind. The cringe was so intense. I curled into the fetal position and rolled around on the floor.
Oh no, the quinge.
In my mind, I was screaming, "Calm down, be chill," but I just couldn't get it out of my head. Yes,
Be Sub-Zero.
yes, I knew just how ridiculous I was acting. But I was still only 19. Yeah.
Yep. That checks out.
I could dish it, but I couldn't take it. I had trouble reacting to anything I wasn't outright expecting. Burying my flushed face in my knees, I began to hyperventilate. Just then, I heard the sound of a door opening. Let's go. It's you. And, walk-
The elusive guy.
and out walked an attractive, blonde-haired, blue-eyed guy.
He's just Cinderella's type, blonde.
Hey, psycho! What? Naturally, the first thing he said to me was an ableist slur. I mean... Are you crazy or just plain stupid? Got a few screws loose up there? Or did you even have any to begin with? You've been non-stop since yesterday, and it's pissing me off. You must be some kind of zombie, huh? Because clearly your brain's rotted to the point where you've lost all speech function.
The thing is, he's not that raw either.
Yeah. Were you never taught to use your indoor voice after 10 p.m.? You're not the only person who lives here. If you want to scream all night long, then go live out in the boonies where you won't have any neighbors. Thanks to you, I barely got any sleep at all. Look at these dark circles under my eyes.
Don't you sleep all day anyway?
Yeah, I see them. When do you think the most important part of the sleep cycle happens?
The 25th hour of the day.
Fun fact, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. is the time period in which the human body secretes the most melatonin, not to mention the growth hormones needed to repair your skin. But unfortunately, for me, I couldn't fall asleep until after you finally shut the hell up, which wasn't until after 2 a.m. My body's now damaged thanks to you. Oh, you'll make amends for this. I'm sorry. Nice try, Dippy. But I'm not letting you off easy. Dippy? What is this? The 1950s?
No, that's hippies.
Also, I have some feedback, or rather, a complaint about your cooking. Could you stop showing off and just cook like a normal person? What do you mean? I mean exactly what I said. Every single meal. You always have to make some fancy bullshit like, look at me, everybody. I'm so good at cooking. It's obnoxious. I wasn't trying to show off. Liar. In the beginning, I imagine they looked at you weirdly overly embellished cooking and said nice things to be polite. But you, being the simpleton that you are, actually thought they were serious. So now you just can't stop yourself, can you? You're addicted to the attention. Aren't I? Like, so good at cooking? Tell me I'm a special daddy. So sickeningly fake. I stared at him steadfastly. Do you not enjoy my cooking? I never said that. Not alright, but you're certainly implying it. And if you're not enjoying it, then I want to know. The silence is loud.
The silence is super loud.
Ha! You looked away. That means you like it.
He can't even admit to himself.
No, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. I could never like that crap.
Oh, well, no more portions for you, buddy.
Funny how you always manage to clean your plate. Oh, quit smirking. You disgust me. Just because I ate your food doesn't mean I liked it. Have you not considered the possibility that I prefer not to leave leftovers where possible? I mean, that's...
No, you seem like the person that would throw the meal back in the person's face.
Yeah.
If you didn't like it.
Yeah.
Like, have some of your own medicine type thing.
Oh, really? Is that out of respect for the chef? The food itself? Or for the people who go hungry every day? Excuse me? Are you stupid? I don't think about that crap while I'm eating. Besides, it's all just a bunch of self-important BS meant to make you feel better about yourself. And for the record, it's not some poverty mindset about not letting things go to waste either. There's no honor in overstuffing yourself just to clean your plate. If anything, that's more inefficient.
True, though.
So you do it because it tastes good? And another thing, I'm sick of the French and Italian and casserole this and Flemish that and whatever the hell ratatouille is. Are we in Europe? No. Then quit with the fortune and make normal people food. What, like Big Macs? Are you doing this on purpose? Or are you literally so stupid that you cannot comprehend the words coming out of my mouth?
I love Alice. She's the grounding rod
Yes.
of every one of these stories.
Yes. So far, what I'm getting from this is that you like to have some simple meals now and then in addition to the fancy stuff. Not bad for a dunce like you. But you're not getting any ass pats from me. I'm not going to stroke that ego of yours.
Look, you're at the wrong end, buddy. It's head pats.
Who? Me? I don't have an ego.
そして
Another thing. You could take that sarcasm and shove it. Gee,
Fair.
thanks. Yep. Ow, ow, ow! This is my third time getting my cheeks pinched today. From now on, if the meal has a stupid French name, don't serve it to me. Damn, okay.
That's a lot of food, buddy.
Alright then. I take that to mean you won't need any dessert either, right? Since dessert is a French word.
Damn.
Are you screwing with me, or are you just that stupid? Which is it, huh? You think this is funny?
Yes.
Yeah.
Completely. 100%.
Stop. Make that 4 cheek pinches. Alice, you're such an ass. Me. You can play the victim all you want, but you're the villain here. Why does he have a question mark next to his name all of a sudden?
Because she's just assuming that it's Alice.
Or maybe because he
Like-
said me. That's my guess.
No, because she said, Alice, you're such an ass. So he's saying, like, me in response of, like, really? Me? No, what about you?
I mean, yeah, but that's the only reason why I can guess why there's all of a sudden a question mark next to his name.
Well, to be fair, like, his entire name was entirely question marks until Reikyu said Alice.
Was it? Oh yeah, huh.
No.
I didn't even think about that. I'm just like, oh yeah, this is Alice.
No, because we know it's Alice, but,
Yeah,
like,
but-
she never, like, officially met Alice in this timeline.
Yeah,
She's just assuming that it's Alice because it's the only other person here
yeah,
who also is ate her cooking.
yeah.
So,
Oh, okay, so you are Alice. Nice to meet you, I guess.
oh, there. See, there we go. Confirmation.
Hi, Peachy.
There him is!
My name's...
They don't care. Told you, not officially met in this timeline.
Yeah, like I said, I did not notice that his name before was just question marks.
Look, you were just happy to see him.
Yeah, I was focused. Feeling defeated, I trudged down the stairs. Right when I was finally lucky enough to meet my mystery neighbor. He turned out to be a gremlin from hell.
Hell yeah.
On the upside, however, I was a lot calmer now. Sure, he was rude, but his complaints themselves were still justified. The fact of the matter was, I was being obnoxious, and I needed to stop. Oops.
True.
I clapped myself on the cheeks to psych myself up. Alright, I can do this. I can't just mope around forever. Here I am.
Once again.
Right as I burst into the kitchen, however, I saw Kaguya go flying across the room. Huh? He crashed into a chair, bringing it with him to the floor. His turn to get startled, I guess.
No, I think Cinderella's kind of roughing him up a bit to get him to quote unquote confess to what he did to Reikyu.
Maybe? We'll see. Kaguya.
Oh, hello, Puppet.
As I hastily helped him up, I found out he was somehow still smiling. You're bleeding. Blood trickled from his mouth, probably from cutting his lip on his teeth.
It's no big deal.
Yes, it is. I pressed my handkerchief to his lip.
Don't pop it. Your handkerchief will get stained.
That's what they're there for.
True, though.
Yeah.
ようやっと
Well, at least this way we're talking again, I suppose.
Huh? My heart skipped a beat. Can someone please tell me what's going on?
I just threw him across the room, that's all.
Just a gentle toss as a treat.
Yeah.
He'll look from Kaguya to Cinderella, who was just standing there idly.
俺が殴ったんだよ。
Okay. I punched him. And why did you do that? I did my best to keep my voice level.
あんたがこいつ
He
に
told me
手
he
を出さ
put
れ
the
たって
moves
聞い
on
てな。
And by that you mean, what happened last night?
そうだよ。
Kaguya, more like
あんたがこいつに
Kaguya.
無理やりされたって。
Yeah, that's right. He said he forced himself on you.
We need to rewind here. He doesn't know what he's saying.
Massive W for Cinderella for just punching Kaguya for saying that,
Damn,
but
yeah.
Kaguya.
Yeah, but we need to tell them what really happened. Goddamn. I mean, to be fair, he's not wrong. Just could have picked better words to say it.
Yeah. Forced himself on me? I mean, sure it was forceful, but he's my boyfriend. And besides, it was just a kiss. Yeah, that's it. It was just a kiss. No big deal.
Then say it out loud, bitch.
Yeah, please say that out loud, because Cinderella's not thinking that.
Yeah, Cinderella's thinking something completely different. And justly so.
Please, Reikyu. But that it was no big deal. Hardly more than a greeting in some countries.
What countries has a greeting that fucks?
I tried to stay calm, but my voice came out in a strained yelp.
挨
A
拶って。
greeting?
あ
Are
んた
you serious? Then he gave me this weirdly compassionate look.
いいんだぜ。
It's alright.
そん
You
な
don't have
風
to
に
put on an act.
無理に明るく振る舞わなくってさ。
I'm really not, though.
もういいって。
Enough, okay. He pulled me close and patted me on the head. Aw. Oh, okay.
This is really dramatic for just a kiss.
I mean, he doesn't fucking know.
I know. They're both stupid, but one more than the other right now.
Yeah. Enough of what? Never in all the time I'd known him had he ever treated me so kindly. I mean,
Because he thinks that you're a trauma victim right now.
yeah, he thinks you got SH, sweetie.
Oh no.
I was so stunned. I just sort of let it happen. But it kind of felt like there was some sort of misunderstanding. There definitely is.
No, you're not overthinking it. Just...
Was I overthinking it?
まあ、
Sorry,
初めて
but this guy's total scope for
Nah.
making you do it
野
outdoors.
外とか
Especially for
ない
your
わな。
first time.
男として最低。
Cinderella's heart is definitely in the right place. But
Oh
I burst out laughing.
なんとな。
I used his sleeve to wipe my spit off his face. Cinderella, my friend, I think you maybe have got the wrong idea.
no. He knows.
勘違いって、
What are you talking
あれだろ？
about? He pressured you
昨
into
日
it.
あんたが
right?
こいつにやられたって話だろ。
I think your imagination is getting a little carried away, you perv.
なんで俺
How
なん
am
だ
I
よ
the perv when he's the one who
あいつの
forced
方だろ
himself on you? He didn't. It was just a kiss, a little smooch, a peck. And it wasn't even on the lips. There was a mask between us.
Huh?
What?
あ
What? What?
He's just like, oh no, I fucked up.
The 3 types of what's in a nutshell.
Ow.
Cinderella shoved past me and grabbed Kaguya.
おい、
Hey,
かぐや。
Kaguya. Is she telling the
こいつの言ってることは
truth?
本当か
え、せやで。
Yeah.
Oh
You dumbass. You need to explain these things. I love the way that Kaguya's sprite was shook.
Yeah, it's just like he's just shaking him back and forth, just like, I just made the biggest mistake of my life, and this all could have been avoided.
He shook Kaguya vigorously by the shoulders. Let's go.
Terribly sorry about that.
Cinderella, don't. He's injured.
It's okay, I injured him, it's fine.
Oh, right. Sorry, pal. I wish we had Cinderella in the last route.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
I love Cinderella.
Love him.
あ、いた。
Ouch.
Did you just drop it?
Like a sack of potatoes, just... He's injured! Alright.
As Cinderella let go of him, he slammed headfirst into the wall.
This little comedy of errors.
Well, what can I say? My bad. He held up his hands in a defensive pose.
I mean, that's fair.
ああ、まあ、そんな気にせんでええって。
No harm done, really.
今カーラ
Either way, I'm the one who messed up.
Yeah, you should have explained yourself very differently.
Yeah.
Kaguya smiled weakly. No, you didn't. No, yes, you did. You didn't mess up at all. I'm the one who got all freaked out about it for no
I
reason.
mean, he could have picked better words to use. Or, you know, just said, I forced myself on her. I gave her a kiss last night. You know? Just that.
Yeah.
Like, literally just that.
Like, at any point between fist to face, he could have said
Yeah.
something.
You could have said, it was just a kiss, and boom, no punch.
I got freaked out. I paused to examine my own statement. Huh? Oh, sorry. I just... Cinderella pressed a hand to his mouth, his shoulders shaking. I already saw his grin, and I knew what this was about. I mean, think about it. You were so rattled. I was sure he must have traumatized you.
I mean, we're laughing about it now because it's a misunderstanding. But
Yeah.
like, Cinderella made the right call with the information that he had.
Yep. But now I found out it was just a kiss through a mask. What are you, high?
6.
He burst into a fit of laughter, pointing at me with one hand, clutching his side with the other. Rude. He pounded my fist on his chest in protest, but it was too late. He couldn't stop. He laughed and laughed until he was practically crying. I don't
He's
blame
got a little
him.
mole.
Yeah.
Adorable. Oh.
Oh, right. Just then, I remembered I was supposed to go and help Kaguya to his feet. God, I don't know what to say except, I'm so sorry.
ええって。
That's alright, Poppet. No need to
それ
apologize.
にこうし
I'll
て
take a
僕らの
wallop
おか
if
げ
it
で
means you'll look me in the
小
eyes
さな
again.
僕と
Kaguya.
あん時ひーさん
Oh,
が
at the time, you were just so cute. I couldn't stop myself from kissing you. But now I wish I had held back.
ひーさん恥ずかしがって僕のこと
You
見
were
てく
so
れないし
embarrassed. You couldn't even look at me
話しかけ
properly.
ただけで
Anytime I tried to talk to you, you'd flinch away.
そりゃ恥ずかしがってる
Of
ひーさんも
course,
めっちゃ
you're
可愛いけど
adorable when you're embarrassed too.
やっぱり笑って
But
るの
I
かも
much prefer your smile.
ごめんな
Can you forgive me?
In that moment, my chest ached as though my heart was in a vice. Nah.
Heart attack.
My pulse was racing, and my cheeks were flushed.
どうしたん
What's the matter?
I think I might love you.
僕のことめっちゃ好きやで
Well, as it happens, I'm quite keen on you myself.
Kaguya. I leapt into his arms.
なんだこれ
What is even happening?
Flirting.
Snow White! The small.
What the fuck?
Just small.
How do you get here?
I don't know, but I don't mind. Tiny is here. I think you're the romantic foil in this situation.
ゲセね
That doesn't make any...
って
Wait, what the... Snow, when did you
お前
get
い
here?
つの間に
Baby.
Oh, just now. By the way, your customers are really confused.
Eh?
Oh, crap.
They're still open for business.
Thank you for coming. We hope to see you again soon. Phew. Once the last customer was gone, I heaved a sigh of relief.
たく
Good
あんたら
grief.
のせいで
Thanks to you
危
two,
うく
we
店
nearly
の評
ruined
判を
the
落とすとこ
cafe's
だったぜ
reputation.
Nah, it's fine.
I'm sorry.
ほんますんませんでした
I'm sorry too.
The two of us knelt on the floor, humbling ourselves. And probably those those customers were waiting to get their checks the entire time. Oh no. Naturally, they heard everything we were saying in the kitchen, and they were rather alarmed. I mean,
Hey, dinner and a show. Let's fucking go.
yeah. Fortunately, they were quick to forgive us in the end, but I still felt bad.
罰は全部僕
Listen,
が引き受けます
Whatever punishment you give us, give it all to me.
He already punched you so hard you took a chair down with you, and then he dropped
And
you.
also blood. And then he dropped you into a wall. So,
Yeah. Like, I think you guys got your just punishment. It's fine.
or at least Kaguya did.
Yeah. Kaguya? I glanced over to find him smiling faintly.
僕
You
が
might have a
全部
bit of
悪
a
かったん
martyr
です
syndrome.
そ
Yeah.
もそも僕がホールを
The
離れ
whole
なけれ
thing
ば
was my
このよう
fault.
なことにはならな
I
かった
never should have stepped away from the dining area to begin with.
Normally, his smile would come across as flippant in a situation like this one, but I knew better. I could see his fist trembling in his lap.
罰って言ってもな
Punishment time!
Wrong game.
Aw, damn.
You have no right to get mad at them. All of you forgot.
True.
まあ
Well,
ま
yeah.
あ確かに
I
俺
admit,
も悪か
I'm
ったよ
partly to blame. You're only running this cafe as a hobby anyway. Since when do you care about reputation, profit, or anything?
Cause it's fun.
それもそうだ
Point
な
taken. For now.
とりあえ
Let's
ず
just put this whole thing
こ
behind
の
us,
話
alright?
はやめ
I
だ
can't handle
やめ
this Malden crap.
湿っぽいのは嫌いなんだよ
He must be bored quite a bit because he's staying at the store a lot more in this
Yeah.
story than the other one.
I mean, he doesn't have a Reiki to romance, so there is that.
True.
Let's all just get over it, myself included. At this, I placed a hand over Kaguya's trembling fist.
ヒーさん
Stop it.
Let's just make sure it doesn't happen again, okay? It's like, just tell him. Don't-
Yeah.
Don't say.
Like, talk more than just in your little communication diary.
I smiled, hoping to reassure him.
せやな
Right.
We got to our feet and turned to the guy who saved our bacon. Thank you for defending us, Snow White. No problem.
Yeah, the writers needed to write him in here somehow.
He turned away, cool as ice.
Yeah, we'll see more of him in the next game.
Later, in the kitchen, we were all seated around the dining table. I was sitting next to Kaguya. Across from us sat Cinderella and Snow White. Now that everything's calmed down, allow me to introduce you. Snow White, this is my boyfriend, Kaguya.
Snow White Ex Machina, let's go.
I gestured energetically to Kaguya next to me.
さっきとはえ
You
らい
sure
態度
changed
が
your
変わ
tune
ったな
quick. You know what they say, women are as variable as April weather. Then again, it's winter right now.
ああはいはい
Yeah, whatever.
どうも、はじめまして。
It's very nice to meet
か
you.
ぐやと言いま
My
す。
name is Kaguya.
ここ
I'll
に
be
は
staying
一
here
時
for
的
a
に住
spell.
まわせてもらってま
Uh
す。
huh. A spell indeed.
Yeah, a wizard spell.
Kaguya held his hand out for a handshake. I'm Snow White. Nice to meet you. While Snow introduced himself in kind, he did not accept the proffered hand. He didn't even meet Kaguya's gaze.
Hmm?
ああ
No,
気に
don't
すん
worry
な
about him.
こ
He's
い
like
つは
this with
誰に対して
everyone.
もこうだから
He's like a cat. You have to hold out your hand first before and let him sniff
He's
it.
like a porcelain doll.
Yeah.
そうですか。
Only look, no touch.
Yep.
Right then.
Right.
I was gonna say, you waiting for me on this one?
I think I saw like the word Kaguya. It's like, ah, yes, not me. Not it.
All right, it's him. Got it.
Kaguya nodded and lowered his hand. So, you're Cinderella's younger brother?
Holds out hand.
This was the extent of what I knew about Snow White. Yeah.
まあな
Yep. This is actually the only This is actually
Blah,
only
blah,
the
blah.
second time I've met him.
そうなんや。
Oh, really? Interesting.
気まぐれで
He's
な
a free spirit.
普段は
Usually he
実家
stays
に
at
いるんだ
mom's
が
house, but every
たま
now
にこう
and
してフ
then
ラッと
he
やって
wanders
くる
over.
んだよ
Isn't that right?
な
Because like, with
At the end of Cinderella's where he goes stays with his mom, right?
Mhm. But then also
Yeah.
Gretel goes off into a cabin in the forest, which is what happened in his route.
Yeah.
Yeah. so-
Like I said, like finding the similar points among all the stories helps us paint a bigger picture of the world.
Yeah. And just it's a nice continuity thing.
Yeah, but it's been very consistent
That's
in
spooky.
every single playthrough. Like they've just made sure that it might not always start out the same way, but at least
Mhm.
it ends up in the same world eventually.
Yeah.
So I remember we talked like a couple weeks ago. It's like if we find the similarities, we can figure out like what is the true timeline.
Yep.
Or like what are some facts that are consistent among most timelines or all timelines.
Yep.
Hey, wait a minute. All right. 60, 59, 58, 57.
Snow White
56.
glanced in Cinderella's direction, then immediately looked away. Yeah.
おい
Well,
Hello?
hello. Answer the question.
まあ、ええやん。それって、
That's nice,
帰って
actually.
くる場所があるっ
Means
て
he's
ことや
got a
ろ
place to call home, innit?
帰ってくる家ね
I guess you don't have one of those.
そういやあん
Relics,
た家な
please.
しだったな
せやな。
Can't say I do.
ふん
Cinderella gave a non-committal grunt in response. Then, after a moment, his lips curled in a cruel smirk.
あれだろ
Let me guess.
女
Did your
癖の
folks
悪
disown
さ
you
で
because of all the
実家に
womanizing?
感動でもされたか
兄ちゃん。
Let's not talk about it in front of my girlfriend, mate.
Oh. Kaguya's gaze shifted to me. I admit I'm curious, but I'm not worried about it. There was still a lot about him I didn't know, but I couldn't afford to wait until he was comfortable telling me. Or I could, rather.
You could. Wow, that was a quick change of heart.
You're so mature.
He ruffled my hair playfully. Are you jealous, Snow? Is that why you're silent?
He wants head pats.
どうしたん白雪さん
What is it, Snow White?
I
Head
realized,
pats. Now.
I realized Snow White was staring at Kaguya's head.
Oh, the mask.
That mask.
Hmm?
All at once, everyone looked up at Kaguya's mask. Is that a rabbit? I was thinking about that.
Yeah, it is a rabbit mask.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Banui.
Like, I
Is
mean,
wearing me
it's
as a mask actually hello? That is so rude. I did not sign up for this treatment.
Well, it's also like it's the Kaguya, it's the Moon Rabbit story.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Moon Bunny. See, Peachy gets it.
Yeah.
Like, I did not question it for 1 second. I was just like, yeah, it's Kaguya.
Yeah. I will say, like, when we first saw the masks, like, I thought it was like a fox, since I'm used to, like, fox masks. But,
Nah, you can tell by the nose.
yeah.
せやでようわかったな
Well spotted. It is indeed.
Oh, it's a rabbit? That's cute. I thought it was a fox. God damn it.
そうやろひいさんもうさぎさんみたいで可愛いで
Wow. All of you in sync with the game, but I figured out it was a rabbit mask way before this point.
I mean, you've been obsessed with the Kaguya story well before this point, so...
Yeah, of course. It's moon rabbits.
Boon rabbits.
In it. Of course, you're as cute as a bunny yourself.
Aw, thanks. I tilted my head in his direction, and he ruffled my hair some more.
どうした
What is it?
別に
Nothing.
ただ
Just try to make sure that mask doesn't slip
上
off
がら
one
ないよ
day.
うに注意しておくな
Oh.
What do you know, Snow?
I think he's talking about how Kaguya is like faking that smile and shit.
Maybe.
気をつけるわ
I'll be careful.
In contrast with Kaguya's jovial laughter, Snow White stared back coldly. As I attempted to decipher this exchange, however, something else occurred to me. Oh crap, I forgot about dinner. Let's order a pizza or something.
ああ、そういやそうだ
Oh,
な。
right. Yeah, me too.
ご
I
た
got
ごたあり
distracted
す
with
ぎ
all the
て
drama.
忘れてた。
Drama.
I'll get started on it now. I rose to my feet, and Kaguya followed suit.
手伝うでひいさん
Let me help you, Pop It.
That'd be great. We opened the fridge and took stock of our inventory on hand. Salami, cheese, chicken, eggs, veggies.
今日は何
Pizza.
作るん
What are you making tonight?
Feels like we haven't had something light and simple in a while. Any requests?
Omelet.
自分が作ってくれたもんなら
I'm
何でも
happy
いい
with
よ
anything you make.
That's not helpful, Kaguya.
What about you, Cinderella? Snow White?
別に
Nah,
何でも
anything's fine.
You're also not helpful.
俺はいらない
I'll pass.
Snow White doesn't eat. I don't know why we asked him.
Yeah. Okay then. Evidently, no one was opposed to me making something simple per Alice's request. Not that I care if they did oppose it. Still, the idea of making something like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for dinner bored me to tears. If Alice knew I
You
felt
know-
that way, he'd scoff and call me a diva.
Snow White, apples only, please.
Folding my arms, I contemplated tonight's menu.
どないしたん
Oh, what's the matter?
I want to make something simple, but I don't know what. What's something that's simple and classy that I could make from scratch? Bread.
Soup.
Soup too, but bread.
Soup and bread.
Yes.
さっぱ
Bread
り
bowl.
して豪華な和食か
Simple and
No, bread bowl's too fancy.
Fair.
Let's see.
If you're going to that much length to hollow out a giant loaf of bread, it's already too much. It's already too fancy for my taste.
Fair enough.
How about fish sticks?
That's perfect. I snapped my
Bread
fingers. Bread soup. Fish sticks were simple on their own, but I could spice things up by making a few fancy dipping sauces.
ほんまによかったわ
It is? Excellent.
Oh, but dang it, we don't have any fish.
僕買ってこようか
Shall I go fetch us some?
Are you gonna go fishing or something?
He's just gonna go dive in the lake and grab him with his bare hands.
I'll come with you. Cinderella, would you mind if we ran to the store real quick?
Don't choke on the bread soup.
あんまゆっくりし
No
すぎ
problem.
て
Just don't take too
今度こ
long.
そ本
Or
当
I'll
に
assume
や
you're
らか
having
さねえよ
sausage for dinner instead.
Shit. That is a dark comment for what your mind went to earlier, my dude.
He smirked at me as he leaned against his chair. Okay? At first I didn't get it, but then the innuendo sank in. Grah!
Whoa there!
In retaliation, I raised my fist, but Kaguya grabbed my arm to stop me. Let go, Kaguya!
No, Poppet. Let's get going, shall we?
And so he dragged me outside. Nah, I'm so humiliated. I didn't need a mirror to know my face was beet red.
I know I'm in no position to talk, but I wouldn't worry about it, to be honest. He wasn't trying to make you feel bad. He just worries about you is all.
I know.
That's my good girl.
He gently stroked my hair as I slumped my shoulders. After a moment, I straightened myself up and looked over at him.
What's the matter? Cause every time we touch, I get this feel. Let's see. Kaguya seems unruffled. How do you ask? Ask him if it bothers him. Ask about his lips. You know, the bloody one.
Yeah.
I say ask it if it bothers him, honestly.
I feel like with the way he is, since that's like not as direct though, he might find a way to dance around it easier. Whereas if we ask about his lips specifically, then like he has to like answer, you know?
Get a more direct answer. Okay, I see. I could see that.
Yeah.
I'll be on Team Lips for now.
Okay.
Till the wizard shows up. Then I'm jumping ship immediately.
Yeah, that's fair. How's your lip? I started to reach out to touch it, then stopped myself.
Oh, I'm alright. I'm Team Lips until the wizard shows up. Then it's all about them thighs, baby.
Oh dear. Grinning, Kaguya waved a hand dismissively. You sure? That punch was pretty recent.
Right you are. But it was my fault, really.
Why don't you ever stand up for yourself?
What?
All these people keep hitting you, but you never fight back. You never protest. You just take it. Granted, I'm not saying you should fight back, but it just worries me sometimes. I don't want you to bottle it all up inside.
You're a nice girl, Poppet.
No, I'm not. But I am your girlfriend, so it's only natural that I worry about you. Kaguya's eyes widened, and he smiled softly. I let out a sad sigh. Feels like you got me wrapped up around your little finger.
You reckon?
I do. I stopped short. Kaguya followed suit. Then, clasping my hands in front of me, I turned to face him, my head tilted. I gotta be honest, I'd much rather have you wrapped around my finger. That's what I'm used to.
Oh, I'm aware.
Grr. I was still in the honeymoon phase of the relationship, but it wasn't the worst thing in the world.
Shall we hold hands, Poppet?
Sure. I took his proffered hand, and we set off. No, it felt like a date. The winter air felt nice and cool against my flushed skin. The moon looks really pretty tonight.
That it does.
Looking at the moon reminded me. Have you heard of the rabbit who lives on the moon?
うさぎさん
A rabbit?
Yeah, it's when you see him up there.
見えへんな
Can't say that I
富士山に
do.
は見えるん
Can you?
Nope. I guess it's kind of hard to see from here. Maybe it's because the moon's so far away. Maybe it's all the light pollution. But centuries ago, our ancestors could see an outline of a rabbit making rice cakes, or so they say.
ペッタンペッタン
Kaguya. What? With a mortar and pestle?
Yep. Then we have to wonder why a rabbit would want to make rice cakes. Because they're good? Duh.
Damn.
やっぱ食べるんちゃう
To
美味しい
eat them in it? They're quite Moorish.
You like rice cakes?
好きやで
I do indeed.
Surprising.
Interesting.
The guy named Kaguya likes rice cakes.
Having acquired an exciting new piece of info, I fist pumped internally. So, while we're on the subject of rabbits, yes, what about me?
この面
My mask?
Yeah, maybe you're a rabbit too.
僕がウサギさんやった
If
ら
I was, I
いつ
reckon
か
I might just go
月に
back
帰
to
って
the
ま
moon
うかもしれ
someday.
んな
If you tried that, I'd do everything in my power to stop you. And I mean everything.
ヒーさんは僕を
You'd
引き止
stop
め
me
てくれるんや
going?
Darn right.
そっか
Well
ヒーさ
then,
んにはかな
I
わんな
wouldn't stand a chance against you, Poppet.
Hmm. Sure, maybe Kaguya was just joking around, but to me, it felt like maybe he kinda meant it. He seemed
He's a moon bunny.
he seemed so unassuming at first glance, but deep down, he was an enigma, constantly threatening to slip away into the night.
That's why Snow knows, because in Snow White, there's
知っとる
the fairy tale Snow White's good with animals. Oh, right. Here's an interesting tidbit. Stop me if you heard this one.
What is it? I flinched, startled from my thoughts.
ウサギさんはな
With those
耳が
big
長
long
くて
ears,
どんな
a
に孤
rabbit
独
can
の
hear
声でも
voices
聞こえ
from
るんや
miles away.
I blinked and tilted my head. You can?
せやな
It can indeed.
内
That's
緒
how they
話
learn
な
all
ん
the
てのは
deepest,
大人もんやな
darkest secrets.
Pity or fear? Pity.
Yeah. I feel like fear would be the wrong play here.
Fear me. Especially if we're saying he's a rabbit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That must be really hard.
どっちが
Hard for whom?
The bunny.
The bunny.
rabbit, of course, the little guy.
Little guy.
The secret teller will never find out they were overheard unless you tell them, but the eavesdropper has to live with that knowledge forever. That's why people keep secrets at all, because that knowledge can never be revoked. And on top of that, the rabbit can't choose not to hear it, right?
せやな
Right.
Which makes it even worse, since a lot of secrets are malicious in nature. Even if that malicious intent is directed at someone else and not them personally, it doesn't make it pleasant to hear. The moment you heard it, you'd cast judgment on the secret teller and fall into despair.
絶望
Despair.
Yeah. I imagine the rabbit would come to hate himself.
Oh, okay.
Why's that?
He'd realize he carried those very same dark thoughts within himself, but put simply, he'd realize he was no different from the secret tellers, so he's so reviled, or whatever.
Did somebody say despair?
Once again, wrong game.
In before Monokuma shows up.
At that point, I'd start plugging my ears or something.
ヒーさんはウサギさんの気持ちが
It's
わ
this
かるんやな
compassion you have for one little rabbit.
Takes one to know one.
Yeah, it's just a little buddy, just a little guy.
I can't know for sure how other people feel, but I can at least imagine it. It's a thing called empathy. The social code dictates treat others as you wish to be treated, but even then, there's no guarantee they want to be treated that way. Since we can't know what the other person is thinking, we have to observe them and make an educated guess.
そのための会話
Which is where communication comes in.
Sonotori! I shot him with
Also,
finger
Sakyu,
guns.
I need to ask you,
Yes.
where are you keeping the rice cakes?
Over on Daifuku 381's channel.
Damn.
Yeah. My mochi is playing Apex Legends. Actually, I'll just casually give him a shout out because I can. There you go. The silly. The mochi himself. Anyways, I shot him with the finger guns.
でもウサギさんは喋らへんね
But rabbits can't talk, you know.
How dare you deny me of my very own existence, Kaguya?
You hear that, Saki? You're not actually talking. They can't talk.
Well, I don't know how this thing is working then.
Well, obviously, the stream is just translating the random noises that you and me are making into Discord and just making it sound like English.
But what about when
Or
we
whatever other language we happen to be talking about.
Okay, like, it wasn't that long ago where we had Japanese. Anyways.
There's no Fana or Kaguya as an actual bunny. Missed opportunity.
Shameful. Sure, but there are other ways of expressing yourself.
例えば
Such as...
Well, there's body language and facial expressions.
ウサギさんは無表情やで
Rabbits don't have facial expressions.
Or
You
maybe
hear that, Sakyu?
I mean,
You don't have facial expressions.
this buddy model in particular doesn't, so I can't argue that one.
I know, that's the best part. Haven't you seen an angry bunny? Not recently.
Or maybe we just think they don't. Maybe we just need to spend more time with them to recognize them. Besides, you never know. They might write letters like we do.
交換日記
You mean the exchange diary?
Exactly. And speaking of which, Kaguya, it's your turn tonight.
うんせやなちゃんと
Right you are. Not to worry. I haven't forgotten.
He stopped short to stroke my hair.
僕
I'm
兄
honestly
さんに会えて
so glad I met you, Poppet.
Well, that was random.
突然ちゅうか
It's hardly random if it's always on my mind, is it?
ことやでひいさんが可愛すぎて可愛
You're just so adorable. My love for you grows with each passing moment. Hmm?
I'm glad I met you too.
Yeah? Glad to hear it. It means all the emotional conditioning's working.
Oh dear. I closed my eyes and gave myself over to the feeling of his palm against my hair. Almost like I really was a bunny. Yes. When at last the warmth of his hand pulled away, I slowly opened my eyes once more. There, I found Kaguya gazing tenderly back at me. Instantly, I thought back to last night and trembled. Somehow, I was embarrassed, happy, and a tiny bit fearful all at once. Just then.
店員さん
Oh, it's the waitress.
Come on in. I was so startled by the familiar voice. I straightened my posture and blurted out a response, reflexively slipping into work mode. When I turned around, I found one of the cafe regulars standing there. That would explain why my brain defaulted to "come on in" of all things.
Good evening. Fancy running into you here. Are you all done with work for the day?
Yep, I just got off work. What about you? Are you on your way home? It would have been rude to blow him off, so I decided to make small talk.
Yeah.
Smiling stiffly, his gaze wandered to Kaguya beside me.
Who's this?
Oh, this is... I tried to answer, but Kaguya stopped me.
僕は数日前から彼女と同じ
I'm a new hire who just started a few days ago.
かぐやっちゅ
The
う者
name's Kaguya.
お客さんはうちによく来てくれるお
You're
客さん
regular
や
at a cafe, yeah?
今後とも
Hope to see you in
よろしくお願い
sometime
します
soon. Oh, I see. I haven't been there. I haven't been by in a few days, so I had no idea.
そうですかぜひまた来
Well,
てくれると
hopefully you'll
嬉しい
find
で
some
す
time to come see us. Right, Reikyu?
Right. I smiled to hide my internal conflict. I think I would like to stop here for the night.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, your regular who's been gone for 5 to 6 days while they've had an entire relationship in 5 to 6 days.
Yeah.
That's probably the same regular that was like, hey, do you have a boyfriend?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is, just from the voice alone.
You know, the one that's obviously going to be like, I like you.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's the shy boy that's just like, oh, I like you, but I want to gauge how this is going to turn out for me first.
Yeah. Beautiful. But,
Thank you.
well, yeah. What are you thinking of the Kaguya route thus far?
It's cute. I'm waiting for the psychological horror part.
Yeah, I am worried for how things are gonna go silly.
Well, it's gonna be a bit of obsessiveness. That's what I'm getting from this right now.
Yeah. Like in a very different way than like Gretel was, which is
Oh, yeah,
interesting.
This one is I have no self-worth, so all of my
Yeah.
self-worth is in this other person.
Yep. One of those.
Which also goes back to some of the themes that we talked about, like when we were getting ready to do Kaguya's route.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just glad there won't have to be any content warnings.
For this episode,
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah.
Finally, we got one! Gretel's route was nothing but content warnings.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No, there was that. No.
I do wish Cinderella was in Gretel's route, though, just because of the way he literally punched Kaguya for a misunderstanding.
Oh yeah.
Because, like, Cinderella would have been perfect.
He's such a nice-hearted idiot.
Mm-hmm.
And really, we just haven't seen much of him since his route. So it's just like, it's nice to see him back.
Yeah.
And taking a more active role in, like, protecting someone that he cares about, but not in a romantic way.
Yeah. And hey, whenever we get to heads or tails, we can date Cinderella again. It'll be different, so that's exciting.
Wait, we can?
Yeah, everyone has routes, but like Wolf and what's his face will be like added
Huntsman.
new. Yeah, but everyone has a route.
Heads or tails, everybody has new routes?
Yes,
What the fuck? Hopefully Gretel's route is better.
we'll find. We'll find.
Heads or
out.
tails.
We don't have to worry about that yet.
To be fair, we were gunning for the wizard this time.
Yeah, we're just like, yeah, sure. Okay, let's see the
We're
wizard.
like, we know that every time we say no at the beginning of a route, it's an ending.
Yeah.
So let's just get the bad ending out of the way first. Because like, man, we go through like the entire route, and then it's just like, oh well, you fucked up. And this time it's just like, did you seriously fuck up this early?
Yeah.
It was a nice change of pace.
Mm-hmm.
And then we saw him 2 more times after that.
Yep. Yeah. Do you have any parting words for chat?
Work on yourself before you get in a relationship. Because otherwise you get what they have. And while it's adorable right now, I can tell you right now, it's going to go fucking crazy.
Yeah, it definitely is. Until next time,
Yeah, don't be a Kaguya where you just bounce between one relationship and the next, because it's not a great way to live.
No, it is not. Ugh. But yeah, until next time, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.